#1 trusted men's grooming brand. The best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
On Millionaire's Cove.
Don, I won $1 million playing the $10 million spectacular scratch-off. And there's someone else.
Well, I won the $10 million top prize.
I don't know what I saw in your long-lost brother.
I have a brother?
New $10 million spectacular from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Instant millions change everything. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 3.11. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
All year, you've sang, danced, and listened to your favorite artists in the free iHeartRadio app. Introducing iHeart Rewind 2023, presented by State Farm. A personalized experience featuring the music and podcasts that brought you joy in 2023 straight to your inbox. Plus, we're sharing what made your neighborhood move by highlighting the top artists, songs, and more in your home state. See the soundtrack to your neighborhood at iHeartRewind.com. Thanks for listening with iHeartRadio in 2023, and Happy New Year from us and our friends at State Farm.
Ready to start the new year strong? Then come out for the annual New Year's Resolution Run presented by Hunter Subaru. With 5K and 10K routes to choose from, runners, walkers, and family members of all ages and ability levels are welcome. You'll enjoy the vibrant streets of downtown Asheville on New Year's Day starting at 10 a.m. What better way to make 2024 your most successful year yet? Start it with a win at the New Year's Resolution Run. For more information and to get signed up, go to idaph.net, idaph.net. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia, Asheville.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raided. It's football time in America, and this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk, live from the Ingalls studio.
It is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. You can take us with you as well and see us, right, on the YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link. Subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. It's always important on a Threadbare Thursday that you be subscribed so you can get in on the discussion. Throw out topics that you want talked about.
Patrick Holt's already thrown one out. What's the worst Christmas gift you've ever gotten?
Oh, my.
I'm going to have to think about that. I immediately had a story that I cannot tell on this show under any circumstances. I know the worst.
Uh-huh. I think that's the more interesting story here.
Oh, I got separated like 9 days before Christmas.
And what did you give her?
That was the most difficult shopping experience I've ever had.
Was it?
I think we nestled on a Blu-ray player. I don't know why that's so funny to me.
I don't either. Like, Blu-ray player. I mean, I was thinking like paper bag with something in it on fire on her doorstep.
I defecated in this bag.
Exactly.
You can
Merry Christmas.
Happy ho holidays.
Yeah, worst Christmas gift I ever got. I mean, I have like disappointing memories of Christmas. Of like 1 year I remember getting the same set of baseball cards that I already had from an aunt. And the thing that I remember most about it is how mad my mom got. I was like 6, I think, when I opened it and went, I already have these, and tossed it to the side. Which was, I mean...
You're 6.
Right. I mean, you right. Like, it wasn't outlandish or anything, but it was like, it was one of those moments where I remember, like, Mom having to drag me to the side and go, that's not how you think, you be grateful even though you have it, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I remember one Christmas I didn't get anything. Except for gift cards. I've told you that story. You think I'm crazy, but I was mad because I like the act of opening presents. And when I got all envelopes with gift cards in them, I went, this is the worst Christmas ever.
Look, if you want to get me a Christmas present, I'm the easiest person to shop for ever. Either buy me something in a double X that has a Jet logo on it, or pull out your wallet, find you a crisp bill, and put that in a card that I'm not going to read. Boom! Gift given. I'm that guy.
Yeah. Easy.
I mean, I'm not particularly difficult to shop for. I mean, if you watch us on YouTube, you see that the vast majority of my wardrobe, it all kind of looks the same.
Mm-hmm.
I wear a lot of Under Armour things. Mm-hmm. There's kind of a reason for that we'll detail in the new year.
Volcom shirts. We can get you some new Volcom shirts.
Those have kind of been faded out of the wardrobe.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, for a reason that I'll again detail in the new year. But I mean, other than that, just give me cash. Like, you're not going to pick what it is that I want. That's highly unlikely.
Right.
Yeah, your gift card story, best Christmas ever.
Right.
Sweet. You let me go get what I want, which is awesome.
Yeah, no, I don't like it. I just, something about it I didn't like. Yeah.
Jason Trump said there was a Christmas when he was a teenager. He got like 20 bottles of body spray and cologne. By the end of the day, I went, do I really smell bad?
Everybody bought him Axe because, I mean, that's what you did, right?
Everybody
teenagers, that's what the kids are wearing these days.
Well, oh, yeah. No, it was Curve in my day.
Curve.
You remember when Curve had to be the most popular cologne brand on the planet?
I don't
because
remember
every
Curve.
dude wore it, including me.
I don't remember that one.
I don't wear cologne now.
What's the point? I don't go anywhere.
Holt said his high school girlfriend got him a chocolate candle that smelled awful, and they ended up breaking up over it because he refused to use it.
That's awesome.
I have to know, was that Kelly Pickler?
Why is that?
He went out with Kelly Pickler.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Mm-hmm.
Patrick Holt and I have lived similarly interesting lives.
Was it better or worse than the Gwyneth Paltrow candle? That's what I want to know.
Is it better or worse than Thursday night football?
It's better. I think it's better, honestly. Thursday night football this week. Welcome into the program. Las Vegas Raiders, Los Angeles Chargers. Wow. Yeah. So
awesome.
So we're going to get to see the team that couldn't score against the Minnesota Vikings this past week. And we're going to see the team that could only score 2 field goals against the New England Patriots 2 weeks ago. Hot.
I have a funny feeling we're going to see markedly more points tonight, and it's not going to be any more fun to watch.
I don't know. Will we see more points than that? Because
I'm going to play a game with myself tonight. I swear to you. Amy's sick. All right, so she's under the weather. She didn't sleep well last night. She's already told me I am coming home, have some leftovers, made a lovely salad last night. She's going to eat it and go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
So I am being left to my own devices. And I am going to take a shot every time I think, why am I not turning this off? Oh, shoot! And then I'll just be hammered by the end of the first quarter, and it will make this more palatable to watch. And then I'll probably meander down to the bar because that's what I do. I did that the other night. They're like, hey, it was good seeing you last night. Oh, oops. I don't remember that.
Did I do that?
I woke up with 2 text messages that said, great to see you tonight. And I went, I left the house?
Oh, that's bad news.
It's not when you're walking
That's
to the...
true. Yeah, it would be much worse if you had to drive somewhere.
Oh, yeah, I don't drive anywhere. I don't drive anywhere when I'm sober. I'm certainly not doing it after a beverage.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we have Uber for.
Easton Stick gets the start tonight at quarterback for the Los Angeles Chargers. He will have Joshua Palmer as his number 1 wide receiver because Keenan Allen's out. Mike Williams been gone. So that means Joshua Palmer is now the most talented wide receiver on this starting roster. And Quentin Johnston's the 2. I don't know about that whole there's going to be more points thing.
Oh, I do. I don't. What is the over-under on this game? I wrote it down for bangers at the end of the hour, but I don't remember what it was.
Let me see. It says 34.5.
Hold on. Over! By just a whole mess.
Really?
That is the most revisionist history I think I've ever heard in my life. So the Chargers don't have their quarterback. They played a good defense that can't score, and they didn't score any points. The Raiders had a really bad week, and so now you have one of the lowest over-unders in the NFL this year. Yep, that feels like stealing candy from a small child. And not even like a really in shape child, like a child that doesn't play sports, a lot of video games. Just give me that. It's not going to be as bad as we think. Neither of these teams are good.
Right.
But it's not going to be New England Patriots, Pittsburgh Steelers bad.
Okay. I guess. I mean, wouldn't last week's game fall into that category?
Last week's game was horrific. Just unbelievably bad.
Mm-hmm. But they'll be able to find a way to score against the Chargers.
The defense is great. One of them's really bad.
How many points have the Chargers scored in the last 3 weeks?
Let's see, 6 against New England, 7 last week, 20 and some change, 23.
Yeah, because they scored 10 against the Baltimore Ravens 3 weeks ago. I
did that off the top of my head.
That was awesome.
In Christmas week, let's go.
It was great.
We should point out the final week of programs of the 2023 season starts now. So we're going until next Thursday.
Yes.
And then we're done.
Yes.
Everybody else has already told us Merry Christmas. So, you know what?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Most everybody else took off today, didn't they?
Yeah. This place is – I saw a tumbleweed. I was coming back from the bathroom. There's a tumbleweed rolling down the hill.
Yeah, it's going to be lonely around here for the next week. But we got one more week to go. Next Thursday will be our last show for 2023. Tonight's not going to be fun. I mean, is there anything to get excited about?
Well, there is, and that's kind of the premise of today's show. We're going to fix the failures of 2023 for 2024. There's really nothing these two teams can do. They're both technically in playoff contention because with 4 weeks left in the season, there are 2 teams that are eliminated.
Right.
It's the New England Patriots and the Carolina Panthers. Everybody else could make the playoffs. It's not real likely. And these 2 teams fall into the you're going to need a small act of God. Loser tonight's not officially eliminated, but they could be by the end of the weekend.
Right.
But you're not making the playoffs. Neither one of you are. The Jets aren't. None of the teams below here are. Tennessee, you're not making it either.
Yeah, it's an absolute disaster. And both of these teams have major changes on the horizon.
Are these the 2 most disappointing teams of 2023?
Yes. I mean, I don't.
The Chargers are number 1 with a bullet.
The Chargers are most definitely in that category.
But this is what happens when you don't fire the coach.
The Raiders are worse than I thought they could be.
There were a lot of people that thought the Raiders were going to take a step forward with Jimmy Garoppolo, reuniting with McDaniels. And now we're not even to the end of the season, and McDaniels is at home, and Jimmy Garoppolo is sitting on the bench. And he is glued to it. ESPN put out draft plans for all 32 teams. And I don't remember the beat writer for the Raiders, but he said, well, they should chase a quarterback, but they probably won't because they have Aiden O'Connell and they're stuck with Jimmy Garoppolo. And I agree with all of that. Yep. But I don't think all hope is lost for the Raiders.
Okay.
I don't think all hope is lost for the Chargers. What I realized going down this rabbit hole, and feel free to comment in our YouTube comments, which teams you would like to hear us do. I'm prepared for any team you could throw at me, unless you give me a hockey team. If you throw me how to fix the Carolina Hurricanes, I'm going to look at you and go, play better.
You need better goaltending.
You should play. I know why you just said that. Adam, I'm telling you right now, if one of the Hurricanes goaltenders disappears, we should, Adam Gold, you need to have a really good alibi.
Yep.
Didn't say it was wrong.
I mean, you pick up a thing or two. Listen to the pregame show every day.
I don't think all hope is lost for these teams. I also don't think in this market, I don't think this Charger job is as attractive as everybody else makes it out to be. We were talking about this before the show. What do the Chargers really have?
Quarterback. I got a franchise quarterback.
And then?
I have a franchise edge rusher.
Who's really expensive.
Yep.
Yeah, you actually have 2 of them. One of them's aging and really expensive. The other is young and really expensive.
I wouldn't include the older one in that.
If this was the if this was Pee Wee's Playhouse, the word of the day would be expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything you have is more expensive than it should be. They're $45 million over the cap next year. And you have holes up and down this roster. You cannot stop the run. You haven't been able to stop the run, I think, since I've been doing this. I think I've said this in every mock draft we've ever put on tape. The Chargers can't stop the run, and they need somebody that can.
Yes.
You don't have any receivers. I'm already willing to say you missed on Quentin Johnston. He had a catch last week. Whoop-de-doo. There were no less than 10 receivers that came out of this class that are going to end up being better than him.
Yes.
Ruari? Please tell me if I said your name correctly. I hate butchering people's names. Fitzpatrick said he's a Chargers fan. Can't remember a time when things looked so bleak. And that's what we're here for. It's really not that bleak. The problem is that you're in a state that has an absorbent tax code. So it is insanely expensive to live in LA.
Yes.
You have Justin Herbert, which is 50%.
Mm-hmm.
Most coaches, that's what they're looking for. I know a couple guys that are candidates in this cycle. They have both told me, I'm looking for a team that's got a quarterback.
No doubt.
Because I don't want to have to play the game of trying to find one, evaluate. And it's not even necessarily, I know we've got a good one. I know we have a guy with talent that I can work with. You're already 50% of the way there. You're going to have to find somebody, and I'm not sure this doesn't fall more on Tom Telesco than it does Brandon Staley. You've got to find somebody that won't just throw money at a problem. You're going to have to evaluate. And they drafted well for a period of time in the first and second round. You've drafted really poorly after that. And when you look at this roster up and down, it becomes super obvious. So that's a lot of where I would go with the Chargers. Is, okay, we're hitting on the ones. You look at guys they've drafted in the first round outside of Quentin Johnston, which was this most recent year.
Mm-hmm.
They've hit a lot. And then they've done nothing else. This year, I think your second-round pick is markedly better than your first. But you've got to find a coach that can work with Justin Herbert and, for the love of all that's good and holy, develop a receiver. Because Mike Williams is made of popsicle sticks. Do you know how much money he makes next year?
32?
His cap hit is over $30 million, and so is Keenan Allen's.
Yeah.
And so is Bosa's, and so is Khalil Mack's. That's really hard to build a roster with. Now, can you build one that's good enough to make the playoffs? Maybe. I don't think Denver is as good as they appear to be right now. This is kind of smoke and mirrors, and Russ's deal gets much more onerous next year and the following year. The Raiders, who you play tonight, I think they're further away than you are. But they may have a quicker path to getting good. For the Chargers, it all falls on the coach.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have a coach that's a high-level coach that can work with these pieces. I don't think it's going to be Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
That's where we were at for the longest time, is that this is where Harbaugh will go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not so sure of that. That extension with Michigan makes it borderline impossible if his signature hits it for him to get out of there. Because that's one of the caveats. He can't even interview with an NFL team.
Well, good. I mean, that's the way Michigan needs to
I also
have it.
find it to be really ironic that he hasn't signed that yet. That's a provision in it. You play in the playoff. Interviews start the week after the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Should really be pressing for that signature, or it may never come.
I think he's leaving the door open purposefully.
I do too.
I wonder if he's waiting on a phone call. Like
and
if he's got it
job,
in his mind. If it's the Chargers, or would he want to be the guy to follow Bill in New England?
No.
Or
it's not New England. There are only two that make real sense.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago and the Chargers.
Yeah, Chicago makes a lot of sense.
He played in Chicago.
Yeah, right.
He's familiar with everybody there. They would probably give him a lot of autonomy.
Yep. Supposed to be a quarterback guy.
But I'm not sure that there's any decision for 1 year that matters other than who your coach is going to be. I mean, you're stuck with a ton of these players.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to do the rearrange the deck chairs thing.
Yep.
You're going to have to restructure a bunch of these guys just to get under the cap, let alone add anything to the roster.
Mm-hmm. It's not a bad group to be stuck with.
No.
Right? And that's my problem, is this is a playoff team with better leadership, right? If you took Brandon Staley out and you had hired anybody in this last cycle.
Non-D3 coach?
Right. If you'd hired anybody, it would have been better. You'd have been threatening for a playoff spot, if not right on the heels of the Chiefs right now, right? Because the Chiefs have taken a step back.
I would agree with that.
And
And
so
I
you'd
think
be
that's
right
why
there.
I think that's why we're kind of – there's almost like a public bias that you see that quarterback and it makes you think this job is so appealing. And it is, because I feel like this is a 9-8 team just because they showed up and they were coached competently.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how much better it's going to get than that. Because every single year, every one of these guys gets more expensive and they get a year older. And I'm not sure that you're not in that just god-awful spot that I talk about a lot. Purgatory.
Yeah.
Are you going to contend for a Super Bowl with this team constructed the way it is right now?
No.
But is it attractive enough for you to add a couple more veterans, keep this intact for the next year or two, and then you're back in the playoffs like you were? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Could this be a cheap scenario where you can find the name out there on the market, right? Like Derrick Henry, right? He's going to become available in the offseason. You add him to this game. You add that running aspect that you've been looking for, the between the tackles guy. There are pieces that you could put around this team, much like Tom had in Tampa, right? What Jason Light and Tom did in that stretch, just bringing in all the free agents to win now, because you've got the core to win now. But it's going to take a lot of dudes taking some deals to be able to make it come to fruition.
Now, on the other side of the football, you have some really good players, and then it takes a drop off a cliff. But I don't think your job is as unattractive as people are making it out to be.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
The Ingalls Giving Tree, benefiting Manna Food Bank, will be on display at the Asheville Mall as a reminder of the needs of so many families in western North Carolina. Drop off non-perishable items in the donation barrels at all Ingalls locations, donate online or at the Ingalls Giving Tree at Asheville Mall so Manna Food Bank can reach everyone who needs help. Nothing can hold back the holiday spirit of giving in western North Carolina. Please help Ingalls Market, iHeartRadio Asheville, WLOS, and the Asheville Citizen-Times ensure Manna Food Bank can fill thousands of empty plates this holiday season.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
Not all coughs are the same. Buy Mucinex DM to get cough and chest congestion relief for 3 times longer than your typical 4-hour cough and chest congestion medicines. With Mucinex DM, it's not cold and flu season, it's always comeback season. Relief with Mucinex DM and nothing lasts longer. Among OTC cough and cold medicines, use as directed.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand, the best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
You've been miserable with joint pain for so long. You want and deserve relief, but you keep putting off that call to QC Kinetics. Now's the time because QC Kinetics is rolling out something huge. It's a voucher for $500 off your first joint pain treatment. Whether it's your knees, hips, shoulder, or back, the QC Kinetics voucher applies to any area. This is a limited time offer. QC Kinetics is the largest regenerative clinic in the country with tens of thousands of satisfied patients who are able to get lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Reach out to the team at QC Kinetics today and ask them, how can I get a $500 off voucher? They'll walk you through the steps and get you started on your way to relief. Don't wait. This is a limited time offer. Call for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. With locations in Asheville and in Greenville. Again, 828-333-9517. Limited time only, not valid with any other offer.
I feel like I'm constantly cleaning hair off my bathroom floor. At least my Swiffer Sweeper makes it easy. Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths have ultra-thick pads to trap and lock hairs, like a hair magnet. And when I'm finished cleaning up my hair, Sweeper takes care of his too. Now the hair's gone, all thanks to Swiffer. Try Swiffer Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths. I promise you'll love them or your money back. And also try Swiffer Sweeper Wet to make quick work of tough, sticky messes.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
We're back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Talking about how to fix the worst teams in the NFL. It is a Threadbare Thursday. You got a team that you want to hear us fix, our thoughts on the fix? Throw that into the YouTube comments section.
And we'll be doing those next hour
Yes.
after we play a fun game of either, neither, both.
Yes.
And Tank has his discussion with Jones Angel.
Indeed. We got a jam-packed show for you here.
I did thoroughly enjoy you both telling each other, hey, sorry I forgot last week.
Yeah.
That was phenomenal.
It was great. Apparently, Jones forgot to call us last week at 4 o'clock. But I also
he couldn't
forgot
have called us at 4 o'clock because we wouldn't be.
Or 1 o'clock, excuse me. But I forgot to call him and tell him that we weren't here anyway. So it all worked out, right? Nobody's feelings got hurt, and we're all going to touch base here in just about 30 minutes or so.
Isn't it great when a plan comes together?
Right. Like, we're just all on the same wavelength. Welcome back into the program. And we're doing all the fixing of the bad teams here. And we do have two bad teams tonight on Thursday Night Football, the Los Angeles Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders. Hey, what's the fix for this team?
Well, theirs is similar in that it starts with a coach.
Mm-hmm.
I am not so sure that you can hire Antonio Pierce here. I mean, I know Jaden Daniels called him out in his Heisman Trophy acceptance speech. Trust me, I know why he did that. He's looking going, hey, sorry for the Raiders. No. Drafting a quarterback is not exactly what I'm looking for here. I don't really see any way that Devontae Adams is on this roster in a year.
Yeah.
Him wanting to be a Jet, the Jets wanting him is the worst kept secret in all of football. I'll take some picks from the Jets. That's a team that's chasing a very, 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 very small title window.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take some picks from you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, I don't think Bill Walsh himself could fix this team to be a title contender in a year. But you do have the foundation. Max Crosby is a foundation piece.
Yes.
Tyree Wilson, if you ever when you find a coach that's here for more than 15 seconds, he will also be a foundational piece, I think. That line has been a problem for as long as I can remember. I feel like the Chargers' inability to stop the run and the Raiders' offensive line have been pretty consistent in mock drafts over the time.
Yep.
And that's where I get to with the Raiders. The biggest mistakes that I see teams make is they try to jump in line. The Carolina Panthers. They thought they were only a quarterback away. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. I don't know how somebody looked at that roster and went, oh, yeah, a quarterback's in a great position to succeed here. That's what the Raiders have to avoid doing, too. You don't need a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You're stuck with two. You just used a fourth-round pick on Aiden O'Connell. Give the kid a minute. I mean, I know I'm real quick to rip the ripcord, but if you're looking at that 3-0 loss last week going, that's the reason Aiden O'Connell doesn't deserve to be the quarterback here, I don't think you understand how the draft works. This kid was bypassed by every NFL team at least twice. There's a reason for that. He's going to take some time. If you're committed to Garoppolo, which financially you are, I'm not so sure you're on-field committed to him. Then you got to find a coach that's committed to him. And you got to actually put pieces around him. Yeah, Jacoby Myers is fine. Devontae Adams is fine. Then what? A rookie tight end, which is one of the toughest positions in this league to learn. A slot guy that apparently everybody that's been in Vegas for the last 24 months just hates because he's gone from really relevant to super irrelevant. And you've got to do something to fix that defense. To me, it's corners. And they've invested heavily in that, and I like a couple of the guys they have. But you got to have a pass rush to get to that, and outside of Max Crosby, you just don't.
But do they have a do they have a one? Like we talk about this a lot with like receivers, and the corners are the same way. You can have a bunch of good ones or a handful of good ones, but are any of them a one? Are any of them going to be really good?
That's one of the things that I think people struggle with, and I don't know if it's because they grew up playing Madden, but if you have 4 2s, then you have 4 2s. You don't have a good cornerback room,
right?
Because elite receivers are still going to kill you.
Exactly.
And that's kind of where I feel like the Raiders are. That's one of the positions I would be targeting if I'm them. I would also be looking around going, I'm almost guaranteed to pick in the top 10, and this is a phenomenal draft. So I'm just going to take the franchise guy, whoever that is. If one of the offensive tackles falls to me, I'll happily be the landing spot for Fashanu or Joe Alt. I don't think that's going to happen, but it might. Not every team I've talked to is as in love with Fashanu as I am. Joe Alt, that one's pretty universal. He's not going to be there for you.
Well, I mean, if you're going to trade Devontae Adams, he's on the way out. I mean, it'd be a hell of a class to pick a wide receiver, wouldn't it?
But even I'm not doing that. Wide receiver is one of those positions that people overvalue. Yes, it is great to have a no-doubt number one. If you don't have an offensive line, it doesn't matter.
Sure.
The Raiders are learning that right now.
But I'm saying
Devontae Adams, does he look like a high-end player right now? Does he look like one of the 3 best receivers in the league? No. Jacoby Myers looks pretty good because he runs shorter routes. He's usually the safety net. Doesn't get number one coverage. I mean, if I'm the Raiders, no shot. Not taking a receiver that high. Don't care if Devontae's on this roster or not. I'm seeing this as a 2-year rebuild. That's where teams like this get into a problem, is that you hire a coach who sells you a bill of goods that 12 months from now we're going to be competitive. No, you're not. Because just look at the hurdles that you're going to have to climb for that to be the case. You're going to have to be better than one of the 3 teams that I'm getting ready to say to be in any way competitive. The Chiefs, they've won 2 Super Bowls in the last handful of years, and they're competitive for another one, and they will continue to be. That Chargers team we just talked about, who's better than you at quarterback, got 2 edge rushers, got plenty of talent, and it's aging. So they're going all in every single year. And Denver, who is coached severely better than you are. This isn't a 12-month rebuild. This is why the Jets and the Raiders and the Browns before Stefanski and the Lions, you're hiring a coach every 3 years, which means you're completely flipping the apple cart over every 24 months, every 36 months, whichever one you choose to do, because it's usually 2 or 3 years.
Right.
You're never going to improve that way. Look at what Detroit did. They hired a coach who the first 2 years, it wasn't great, and he was kind of a lunatic. Weird. 3rd year, they're drastically better. Because you've had 3 full drafts steering in one direction. The Raiders are kind of proof positive. Look at how many pieces you have to find the right coach to coach them. Max Crosby, he's going to work anywhere. I'm not sure he couldn't stand up. I don't want to see him do that. I like him being that end in a 4-3. Tyree Wilson, what position does he even play? Every one of your linebackers, do they fit in every system? No. Your corners, do they fit in every system? No. Your 2 receivers outside of Devontae Adams, do they fit in every system? No. So you're picking a coach that you're having to shoehorn all of these things around. Stop worrying about that. Find a guy that you believe in and give him 3 or 4 years with the front office to turn this around. Stop looking at things 18 months in going, well, this isn't any better than it was. Of course it's not. You've been one of the worst drafting teams in the league. It's going to take a minute.
And we would love to see that as owners, right? Think of Mark Davis and David Tepper. Like they want to see that, but at some point you got to look at it and go, well, this is not going to work. I can't give this any more time, right? And so the Josh McDaniels thing became untenable.
Well, the Josh McDaniels thing was a nightmare anyway.
Right.
But the reason you did it is that you thought he was the guy that could fix it the quickest. I don't think anybody with an IQ above salad dressing thought he was the best coach on the market. He was one of the biggest names. Doesn't mean he's the best.
Right.
Most patient owners in the NFL, who are they? Robert Kraft.
New England.
The Rooney family. The Hunts in Kansas City. Weird. All of them tend to be really good. And even if they have a bad year, they don't completely throw everything out with the bathwater. New England, it took 4 bad years before Bob Kraft went, okay, I can't do this anymore. Bill can't do it. Bill can't be the one to turn it around, and he's done all of this the right way from everything I've been told. The Raiders, on the other hand, by the end of 1 year, everybody, just think about how the last 12 months have gone. Oh, Josh McDaniels, he's got his guy, got his quarterback, got his wide receiver. It's going to be great. 4 weeks into the season, every Raider fan I knew was ready to cast him out like a leper. They do fire him. Antonio Pierce comes in. They win a couple games against bad teams, and, oh, he's the solution. Then you lose a 3-0 game to the Vikings, and all of a sudden, everybody fired. You see how tumultuous that is? You'll never get better doing that. All we need is just a little patience.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Before we go to the break, let's hit this super chat from the Ocho.
Oh.
I'm your huckleberry.
He says tight end is the second highest bust rate to quarterback, and the Raiders have neither improved the roster, bring in a quarterback.
I would agree. I think you have to go into this next year knowing that Jimmy Garoppolo and Aiden O'Connell are your quarterbacks. Which one you start, I'm not going to lie to you, I don't really care. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is probably the better of the two in the right situation. I'm also not building the situation for Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm building the situation for the Las Vegas Raiders. You contour to me, not me contour to you. And that's where so much of this goes awry. The Jimmy Garoppolo albatross contract, all of it happened because you gave Josh McDaniels carte blanche to go get his quarterback, and when it didn't work, you blamed it on him. Well, you got rid of Josh, and now you're stuck with his very expensive mistake. Build the roster, and then worry about the quarterback. Everybody wants to worry about a quarterback. I don't care how good they are. They will not succeed with what you put around them currently.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. When we come back, we'll get just a bit outside.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, we can't complain about the week we've had, and it's going to continue right on through the beginning of the upcoming weekend. Then we'll watch low pressure developing in the Gulf. It's going to start spreading some rain in here by Sunday afternoon. Sunshine today, 52. Tonight in the upper 20s. Friday, sunshine, mid-50s. More the same Saturday. Mostly sunny, mid-50s. Good chance we get some rain Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Halloween is over, but hiring is still scary. Indeed's end-to-end solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
The 2024 Ingles Southern Conference Basketball Championships will be held at the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville, in the ExploreAsheville.com Arena, March 7 through 11, 2024. Tickets on sale now and are available via Ticketmaster.com and at the Harris Cherokee Center Asheville box office.
Hear that? That's the sound of new digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Now you can play right from your phone and win real cash prizes. It may all sound new, but winning, oh yeah, big money, is as thrilling as ever. Register to play digital instants for a whole new way to win. Must be 18 to play. See prize and odds charts at nclottery.com/digital-instance for details. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
The free iHeartRadio app is your home for the holidays. Open the app and click on the holiday banner or search iHeart Holiday and start listening to your local holiday station. Plus stations playing all kinds of holiday music, Christmas classics, Christmas jazz, country, R&B, tons of playlists, even podcasts. Yay! Our gift to you, the perfect holiday soundtrack. Join the millions of listeners on the iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
With a Chalupa Supreme, beefy 5-layer burrito, crunchy taco, cinnamon twist, and medium drink, Taco Bell's $5 Cravings Box is packed as ever and $5 as ever. Get one at Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for price and participation which vary. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is ESPN Asheville. We are the Sportsocracy. Follow us on all the socials. Conveniently at the Sportsocracy. It is time to get just a bit outside in the NFL. They had their special meeting this week where they talked about the 2061 Super Bowl or whatever the hell it is. 2027 Super Bowl coming up is going to be in Los Angeles. They're also going to be expanding the international games. So, yay for that.
Woo.
We're going to
Yay.
get
more games that start at 9 o'clock in the morning. I cannot wait.
We're going to get a Brazil game now in 2024. And the international games are going to be going up from 4 a year to 8 per year in 2025. So even more spread for the NFL, which is good news there. But they also, at the meetings, were talking about rule changes. Of course, the tush push came up. There is no...
It will be gone, I promise you.
According to Troy Vincent, there is no major push right now to get rid of that rule, but they will continue to discuss it in the offseason. They also continued to talk about the hip drop tackle.
That will also be gone.
Causes a lot of injuries around the league, which, yes, that will be gone as well. And then it was the last one that caught my eye here, as they're also discussing the merits of the fumble through the end zone that results in a touchback. And they say that that penalty is too punitive.
No, it's not.
I don't think so either. And I know there are people who don't understand.
I've never understood why this has become such a big deal now. We've done this forever.
No doubt.
What else do you want to do? All right, so just what is the alternative?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you take this out, guys are going to start diving from the 5-yard line to get in.
Exactly.
Oh, and I'm going to get tackled? Just throw it out of the back of the end zone.
Ball security, to me, has to be paramount, right? When you're crossing the plane, you need to have hands on the ball, and you need to be in the end zone. I've always hated that just wave it over the corner of the end zone, and it's a touchdown and all that kind of stuff. I know
because you'll have to get rid of that, too.
No doubt.
If you decide to do this, it's not a touchback if it goes out of the back of the end zone.
Right. Too punitive to give the other team the ball. But what is the penalty? What should the penalty be? What's fair, I guess. Dare I say that word? Back them up. You got to back them up, right? You can't give them a ball right at the one. That's what I was thinking. You don't want to give the other team the ball at the 20, then you back them up 3rd and goal from the 25 or whatever it is.
I mean, if you're going to do it, which I'm completely against, that's about the only way that you can.
Yeah. Changes to the current rule could be coming in the off season.
Tank earlier in the week told a story about a staffer for the Jacksonville Jaguars that he did crimes.
Yeah.
And stole over $22 million. And now we potentially know why. His name is Amit Patel. And when you told this story, he had bought a condominium and a Tesla and a watch and a whole bunch of other things. Well, apparently that's not where most of the money went. Would you like to take a guess where it went?
Gambling.
I don't have a bill. Bingo. Apparently, Mr. Patel's not just a gambler. He's a particularly bad one. Spent over $500,000 on DraftKings tournaments using the username Parlay Picker. That should tell you everything you need to know about him. The fact that your DraftKings name is Parlay Picker. Okay, you're one of those dudes. You're out here throwing hundos at 14-leg parlays, which means you probably haven't hit a bet since, I don't know, when did Obama go out of office? Because that's probably the last time you hit one of those. They're really hard to hit. I'm not sure that I didn't play against this guy. I saw the name.
Do you play that high of stakes?
I play
Because, I mean, he was throwing in on like $3,000 games just willy-nilly.
The highest buy-in was $30,000. Yep. That was as high as it went. The problem is that there's only one service that can actually monitor all of these things. It's Roto-Grinders, who, oddly enough, I used to write for. They don't, if it's small tournament contest, they don't monitor those.
Right.
So he was playing a lot of those $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 against two other people. I play a lot of those, not that high stakes, but not as far off as you would think. I play a lot of those, hey, there's 5 of us and winner takes all.
Mm-hmm.
I like a winner takes all. I don't have to be great. I just have to be better than you.
Right. This guy was apparently terrible at it, though.
Yes. And you should not play in those unless you're, you got to be pretty good at this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like Tank Spencer bad.
From what I saw, he might make you look like me.
He might. I was reading some of the accounts of this because, all of these guys talk to each other, right? All the big spenders on DraftKings, they all kind of know each other. And when this guy came around and he started throwing around big money, everybody started asking questions of who is this guy? And one of the accounts I read was that he was throwing up red flags because he would enter these $3,000 contests and then not even put a lineup in.
That's specifically bad.
Right. And so everybody all the big hitters, all the sharps, I guess, in the DFS community started going, oh, let's find out what games this guy's playing in so we'll get in the games against him. They've known about this for a while.
Mm-hmm. There's also
they just didn't know who it was, I guess.
There's also a screenshot rolling around the interwebs that apparently this guy is now driving for Uber, and he's using the Tesla that he bought with misguided funds.
Oh, please tell me it's got like a giant Jag sticker on the back.
Well, the tweet that I saw said it was the screenshot of the Uber screen, and it had a guy named Amit that looks shockingly like this guy that was driving a Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
And oddly enough, they were going to the Jaguars-Bengals game.
Oh, that's funny.
How bad must you feel when you accept that ride? Like, I used to be there on Sundays. Now I'm driving for Uber.
No, you gotta decline that ride.
Oh yeah,
it's within the restraining order, right? I can't.
No.
I'm not allowed to come within 6 blocks of that place. After stealing, what was it, 2.5?
22 million.
22 million. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable.
$22 million.
Yeah.
We had some questions in the YouTube chat.
Okay.
Matthew Hoffman, we were talking about the Raiders in the last segment. He said, could they trade Jacoby Myers instead of Devontae Adams? He has no value. I mean, receivers, you might get a 5th-round pick for him, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Adams is the one that people would want. And by the time you're going to be good, he's not going to be in the league.
Right.
I mean, Devontae's already 31?
I believe that's right. I think you're
so
correct.
So you find a willing trade partner in the Jets who want to match him up with Aaron Rodgers,
mm-hmm.
and that's what you do.
What does it cost your team to do that?
The Jets?
Mm-hmm.
With the contract, probably I would say a 2nd-round pick, but the Jets don't have one of those. So maybe a 2 next year, 3 this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's about how that falls in. Usually when you have to wait a year, the pick goes up around.
A 3 and a 2? Is that what you were saying?
No.
Oh.
Just one or the other.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'd gladly give you a 3rd-round pick right now for Devontae Adams.
That's about where I think that will go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Jets will have one of the first handful of picks in the 3rd round.
Would they give up multiples, like 2 3s? Like a 3 this year, 3
probably
next
not.
year, or a 3 2 years from now, or something like that?
Probably not, but maybe.
Sweeten the pot, Because I need to give Aaron everything he wants.
The cost of a receiver that's that age making that much money because they're still pot committed on him for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just not going to get what you think. Trades in the NFL are always funny to me when people come up with these ideas and they conspire all these things. Yeah, no team would answer that. Like if the Raiders said we have to get a second-round pick for Devontae Adams, awesome. You're going to hear some music followed by a dial tone. That's the sound of me hanging up on you.
Okay. All right. We also had a question asked in the YouTube comments here about Bryce Young. Should the Carolina Panthers sit him?
Yes.
Avoid any more damage that you could possibly do to his, psyche, to his body. Obviously, for the rest of the season, you're going nowhere.
I worry more about the psyche than I do the body. I worry more about the confidence than I do about the body.
No doubt. Why? What would keep you from turning this over to Andy Dalton if you were the coach?
Me?
Yeah.
Not a thing, and I would have done it a month ago. I'm not learning anything about this kid at this point because you have your two outside receivers are two of the lowest rated receivers in the NFL in Jonathan Mingo and DJ Chark. You had a couple just horrific drops from Chark last week. The only thing he has is Adam Thielen. And now it's almost become like a safety blanket of he tries to force it into Thielen and teams are figuring it out. So, I mean, you're not gaining anything. None of this film is going to be something that they use going into next year because it's so unbelievably bad that the only thing you could do is, hey, take this tape and do none of that. Take everything you see in this 60-play tape and set it on fire in your head. I mean, that's why you have a backup like Andy Dalton, is for a situation like this. I mean, now you've got a game against the Falcons this weekend. It's in Charlotte. What do you think the get-in price for that game is?
I'm gonna say $2.
You're too high for what you just said. You could actually have a family of 4.
No
because
way.
45 cents is the get-in price.
I don't think I've ever
it's on
seen that.
SeatGeek. Neither have I.
I've never seen
on
that before.
SeatGeek, you can get in that stadium for 45 cents.
Now, I've seen that for baseball games.
Now, those tickets may have been sold. This was as of, 9 or 10 this morning.
Wow.
There were upper deck seats listed for 45 cents.
That's crazy.
And that's a good defense, too. So now you're going to take this patchwork offensive line, which is playing two guys who have barely played, two more who have been real, real bad, and you're going to throw Bryce Young behind that for what purpose? Are you getting game reps? Stop. He's got plenty of reps. He needs a coach.
Yeah.
He needs a coach, and he needs a cognitive, even vaguely – I'm trying to think even of the word I'm trying to say here. Competent. A competent game plan would help him a lot. You don't have one of those.
Mm-hmm.
You've got an entire coaching staff here that's got one foot in the grave and one foot on a banana peel. They're still showing up because they have enough pride in what they do that they're not letting the fact that they know they're not going to be here next year take over. I mean, Thomas Brown's wife was on Twitter basically saying, we've already been fired.
Right.
The only reason that we're even still here is because there's got to be somebody to call the plays. This is a losing scenario, completely.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't let Bryce Young anywhere near that field.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you because, as you said, you're learning nothing. And the only thing you're doing is you're basically playing with fire because one of two things can happen. You can break an already fragile situation mentally.
Well, benching him's not going to break him.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
If you leave him out there, you're playing with fire. One of two things can happen. You can break him physically, or you can break him mentally.
And the other perk of playing Andy Dalton is maybe you accidentally win a game and you don't give the Bears the number 1 overall pick.
Hey, that might not be too bad.
Wouldn't that be fun? Maybe we traded the second pick. We don't quite look so bad.
Indeed. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 Thursday night football tonight. Jeremy's got his bangers coming up next. We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Christmas.
Hurry, they're gonna be up soon.
When families and communities come together in the spirit of peace on earth and goodwill towards men.
Operation Silent Night and Still on the Fence. Okay, we're ready.
At Ingalls, we know that Christmas isn't just a holiday. It's a feeling to embrace all year long. Ingalls, your neighbor for over 50 years.
Yeah, my name is Mike Peterson, and I help people connect to healthcare. I like it because I'm really helping people. Actually, don't cost them any money to use me, but I can make their life easier. I'm there for them all year, and I help them find the best coverage for them for the least amount of money. Because there's a lot of confusion, a lot of options out there, and what's important is to find the least expensive option that best meets your needs, and I can help somebody quickly hone in on that because that's what I do each and every day.
Hummingbird Insurance. Visit hummingbirdins.com for a free consultation. Health insurance made easy.
The holidays are the happiest time of the year. That is, unless you or your loved ones are miserable because of colds, sinus infections, or allergies. This holiday season, give the gift of better breathing with Navage. What makes Navage so effective? Well, unlike cold and allergy drugs that might take a long time to help, if they're effective at all, Navage provides fast relief from sinus congestion in 30 seconds flat. Navage doesn't just relieve symptoms, it attacks the cause by sucking out the germs, allergens, and viruses trapped in your nose that are making you feel miserable. Best of all, Navage does it naturally, without drugs. Wash away your cold and congestion problems this holiday season. Add Navage to your gift list so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
This is Carolina basketball.
2-on-1. Baycott finishes the transition hammer. RJ Davis, he's going to try a quick three. Yes, from the right sideline.
On the Tar Heels Sports Network.
Ends up to Baycott, and he gets the run out. Two-handed flush. Carolina, it's Davis. He's fouled, and give him it.
This is your radio home for the Tar Heels.
Asheville's home for the Tar Heels is ESPN Asheville.
Coffee's for closers only.
Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Thursday night football. Raiders are a 3-point favorite at home against the Chargers, over under 34.5. There has been a slew of backup quarterbacks that have come in and produced quite nicely for their teams over this year. Easton Stick is not going to be one of those. And let me tell you why. He can't throw. That's not something you figure out how to do in 4 days. I just saw it. There is no arm talent there whatsoever. He's a good runner from what I understand. That's not enough. So I'm taking the Raiders minus the 3. I'm not 100% sure that this game's ever going to be close. I think the Raiders probably score early, get a lead. It's about 10 points for the vast majority of the game. I'll say the final score in this game is somewhere in the neighborhood of 27-17. And that takes me to the part that I like even better. Over under 34.5. 85% of the money is on the under, and I love going the opposite way of the public, and I was on the over anyway. This feels like an overreaction to things we've seen way too recently, so give me the Raiders minus the 3 over the 34.5, and you can take those wagers to betus.com. Use our promo code Sportsocracy. Get 125% deposit match on your initial investment, and up to 30 risk-free wagers so you can wager the playoffs with us all season long.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, we can't complain about the week we've had, and it's going to continue right on through the beginning of the upcoming weekend. Then we'll watch low pressure developing in the Gulf. It's going to start spreading some rain in here by Sunday afternoon. Sunshine today, 52. Tonight in the upper 20s. Friday, sunshine, mid-50s. More the same Saturday, mostly sunny, mid-50s. Good chance we get some rain Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Ooh, hot date?
I wish. It's a hot court date this Wednesday.
Wait, they notify you for that now?
Yeah, it's Buncombe County's court reminder at buncombenc.courtdates.org.
Never miss a court date with buncombenc.courtdates.org.
This is Jason Carnes, co-owner of AirVent Exteriors. My team and I want to wish you and yours a very merry holiday season and a happy and healthy new year.
Hi, I'm Jason with the Asheville Area Habitat for Humanity Restores. On behalf of all the families enjoying the holidays in a safe and affordable Habitat home, we would like to say thank you to everyone who supports our work by shopping, donating, or volunteering with the Asheville Habitat Restores. Happy holidays.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Have your outdoors and running water, too, with Luxury Loo, the tasteful solution to portable bathroom rentals. Family-owned and local, Luxury Loo Rental provides modern bathrooms on the go with running water, AC and heating, flushable toilets, and elegant designs. Luxury Loos are perfect for weddings, corporate events, remodels, and more. Don't leave your well-dressed guests to use a dirty porta-potty john.
Ew.
Turn to Asheville natives. Luxury Loo. Visit LuxuryLoosRental.com.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat for a Threadbare Thursday. Anything and everything you want talked about on the table. Well, I mean, things that we can actually discuss on these here airwaves. We will get into before the end of the program. We've been fixing some NFL teams today because we've got a great example of two really bad ones coming up against each other tonight on Monday Night Football. Not saying that they're, all the players on the teams are bad, because there's some really good players that are going to be involved in this game. The sad part is they play for two just gross franchises that cannot get their act together and just really are. I mean, the loser of tonight's game falls to last place in the AFC West.
Yes.
Which is disgusting. It's not a spot that I thought the Chargers would be in this year, but that's what happens when you have bad coaches, right?
Well, I mean, Brandon Staley should never have gotten this far.
No.
I mean, and I don't know how he has gotten this far. We've been screaming this, I think, for 2 full years. And if he makes it out of this game, I don't understand it. I do not understand what the point is.
I don't either.
You're not hiring Kellen Moore anyway.
Mm-mm.
Because the offense has been pretty dreadful too. It would be one thing if you didn't want to put him in a bad situation and you were going to give him a shot to get the job at the end of the year. You're not. It's the same problem I have in Washington. Eric Bieniemy has no shot at getting the job. So what do you care? What does it matter? You keep trotting this guy out, and it's almost – I almost have started to feel bad for Brandon Staley. I mean, He knows every fan in the fan base is just clamoring for him to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
And you keep trotting him out there every week. What is the purpose of that?
I have no idea. And the only thing I keep going back to is that maybe they just don't want to.
Please don't say pay him. If you say pay him, I was about to say, I swear to God, I will scream obscenities on the radio. I'm so tired of hearing that.
They don't want to run into that situation of, okay, we give it to Bieniemy for 6 games or 4 games or whatever it is. They win all 4 games. It looks great, and then we're going to have a problem because we want to get rid of this guy, but now we're stuck in that Steve Wilkes scenario, I guess.
Then do what you want to do. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I've screamed this from the mountaintop for as long as we've been doing this show. Just because a guy wins a few meaningless games at the end of a season doesn't mean he's a good coach. I said it about Steve Wilkes. I've said it about several other guys over the course of time. Don't get duped by a couple games at the end of a season. Plus, look at the schedule for both of these teams. It wouldn't matter who the coach was, especially for the Chargers now that it's Easton Stick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't like your chances.
Yeah. No, I don't like them either. Don't like your chances either. But here's the thing. This is 100% a bet don't watch game, right? Are you going to be locked in tonight?
I already told you I'm playing a drinking game with myself. Amy's sick, and every time I think, okay, it's time for me to change the channel, I'm going to take another shot, and I'll be hammered by the end of the first quarter, probably asleep by halftime. Let's go.
Yep.
It's a win-win.
Okay. It is a win-win. We are awaiting a phone call from Jones Angel, voice of the North Carolina Tar Heels, to talk some basketball. Big game coming up this weekend. The Kentucky game, the CBS Classic, coming up tomorrow. You'll hear it right here on ESPN Asheville. In the meantime, while we wait for him, Jeremy, you haven't even started, have you? You haven't even started to think about another sport yet, have you?
No, God, no.
Really?
What sport am I supposed to be thinking about?
There have been some good games in college basketball already this year. You've missed them.
It's December.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't care. Really? It's not that I don't care about the games. I mean, they can be entertaining.
Right.
What is college basketball to me? Like, what do I consume this sport for?
For what, the tournament?
To bet it in March. All I'm going to learn here is something that probably does not matter 3 months from now.
Because as these teams, I guess I can see what you're saying.
The conference tournament's about the time that I lock in.
Right.
So I know where to go tournament time.
Right. Because as the season progresses, these teams are going to be different.
Well, if I had $1 for every time there was a team in the first 6 weeks of a season, they play all these games, they lose a few of them. I mean, Carolina just did this a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It always blows my mind how many people are just ready to throw the season away in December. You realize none of this matters. It'll be used to seed you in March. But the team that you will be on, I think it's March 13th of this year, when they seed you on Selection Sunday, and who you are right now is patently different.
Yeah.
I like that you're playing the games. I understand why people are watching the games. All it does is cloud my judgment when I go to wager this thing.
Okay.
These, to me, are almost like preseason games.
I obviously had never considered it that way because I don't have that gambler's mind that you do. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I soured on early season college basketball. I don't know. That's probably been 8 or 9 years ago, where I saw a team. I was super impressed, and I, for the life of you, could not tell you who this team was. I was super impressed. I took them to go all the way through the tournament, and little did I know that the depth that they had, they were playing 7 players by the end of the year.
Oh, yeah.
They were playing 10 when I saw them.
Right.
And they were running people off the floor. So, I mean, and that's the thing.
I was going to say, sounds like a Kentucky team.
No, I never bet on Kentucky.
Yeah.
Kentucky always has 18, 19-year-old kids and no senior leadership whatsoever. So I always avoid them like the plague.
Well, you know what? Hopefully Carolina Tar Heels will get a taste of that tomorrow. Be able to come up with a win over the Kentucky Wildcats in the CBS Sports Classic. 5:30 is the start on that one. Pre-game will start at 4:30 here on ESPN Asheville. Let's just get into more of the fix-it conversation here because I don't believe we're going to get a phone call from Jones this week. Maybe we'll touch base with him next week for the finale of the week. We talked a little bit about the Carolina Panthers there and Bryce Young, whether or not you would pay him or play him for the rest of the season. How are you fixing this team, though?
If I was a coach, if I was a scout, if I was a GM, if I was anything that got an interview with the Carolina Panthers, I would tell them point blank, I am not even entertaining the idea of your job unless you're giving me 5 years. No way.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even think about it.
Yeah. I need to know that there's some kind of stability here.
You're so far away that I can't – I don't think anybody can fix this in 2 years.
No. I don't know that it can ever be fixable because everything is fixable. Everything is cyclical. David Tepper will learn over time. It's not just, the franchises. I would hope he learns. I would hope he doesn't end up being, the next Bidwill family.
Bidwill's went to a Super Bowl. I hate to point that out, but
okay.
The NFL's cyclical. And I hear this a lot, but Panther fans, you are entirely too worried about David Tepper being the stupidest person on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
He's not. He's worried about way too many of the wrong things. And, yeah, it's going to be bad. For how long? I'm not sure. Gambit fan hit it directly on the head. If the Bengals were fixable, the Panthers are fixable. Exactly. Now, you hope it doesn't take as long here as it did there because it took that entire front office a long time to learn. Let the football people make football decisions. That's what David Tepper has to learn above all else. And my thought is I think he's going to see this time the thought that they were going to trade up to number 1, which they didn't do until after Frank was already in place. But that had been a rumor for a bit. And the idea of having Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud, whichever one you fell in love with, was really attractive to coaching candidates. There is nothing attractive about this job now. And he's going to get told no a lot. The hope is, and I hate to tie it back to the team that I am a fan of, is that you get somebody like Joe Douglas that goes, yeah, I see the vision. And you give them all the platitude in the world. Give them 3, 4, 5 years to fix this. Draft well. You're going to have to. You gave up so much in draft capital to get Bryce Young. He has to work. You don't have a choice. If he doesn't work, you're irrelevant for the next 8 years. Because you will be stuck with him for 3 more, no matter how bad he is. I mean, just realize Mac Jones, as bad as he is, we're only 3 years in.
Mm-hmm.
We're only 3 years in. They will have to outright cut him and eat the money to get off of him this upcoming offseason. Now, you decline the option, so he's not your starter. There's no commitment to the future. But it's almost unheard of for a rookie that's drafted that high to not get 3 years. Well, if he's an unmitigated bust, there's nothing you can do for 2. You'll have probably another rookie 2 years from now. So you're 4 years away from being even possibly competitive. And my hope is that he gets enough people that are around the league that are evaluators that they have no interest. Like, I'm good. I'm not doing this. And that makes him realize, okay, I got to let the football people make the football decisions.
Right.
Firing this many coaches, I mean, even the soccer team, which has no relevance to me other than to show you how impatient he is. At some point, you have to have somebody that looks him in the face and goes, this isn't soccer, buddy. There are like game plans, there are playbooks and schemes and all kinds of things that happen in American football that don't happen in that thing you call football. All right, that's 11 dudes. Who has the best players? Watched it. Trust me, you're never going to convince me otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. Every team that has a super high-end player like Lionel Messi, weird, they're never bad. I wonder why that could possibly be. Oh, because the scheme doesn't matter. In the NFL, the scheme is everything. Everything. Above players, above talent, above everything. If you have a bad scheme, you're doomed. From jump. And you're changing this every 18 months. So you ask me how to fix the Panthers? You pay way more attention to the GM than you pay attention to anything. You hire the GM first. You should have already been prodding agents and putting out feelers. You can't contact them directly, but I'm going to give somebody carte blanche to build this team. Mm-hmm. I'm also going to give somebody carte blanche to go pick their own coach. Don't try this arranged marriage thing. Find a GM. The GM finds the coach, and it starts from the top down.
And where does that search start and end? We all know it ends with David Tepper, but where does it start? Who's he got scouting these guys? Who's his brain trust that would be helping him look for a GM? That's a rhetorical question. I don't expect you to know the answer to that. That's where my brain goes. If he's not listening to the guys he already has in his building, to make the football decisions, then you're just on a perpetual cycle here of making the wrong call at the wrong time. I hope he figures it out. For Carolina Panthers fans, I hope he figures it out.
And here's where that perpetual cycle ends. You find a high-level evaluator that looks him dead in the face and goes, I don't care about any of your guys. I don't care about the brain trust you have. The brain trust you have is terrible. I'm bringing my own guys. You're going to pay them at the high side of the market, and we're going to fix your franchise. And trust me, there are a lot of guys all around this league that I think could do that.
Yep. Nick Land says Fitterer needs to go once the season is over with.
He will.
Absolutely. Would pay Brown before Burns. Yep.
Personally, I would. Before Burns, I don't know that I agree with that. Well, unless what he's saying is I would pay Brown and trade Burns, franchise tag Burns, and then franchise tag and trade, then I understand. That's probably what I think that would be the now only, that I'm thinking about it.
I think that would be the only logical solution.
I'm not letting him walk, that's for sure.
No.
I don't have enough talent here.
No,
but Derek Brown should be the focal point.
Mm-hmm.
He's been the shining piece of this team pretty much all year long.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people forget how high-end of a prospect he was.
He's incredible.
He was universally one of the top 3 players in that draft. We just knew he wasn't going to go that high.
Yes.
There were quarterbacks. There was no chance that he was going to fall in somebody's lap, and he did. He fell in Carolina's.
Mm-hmm.
And now you use that, you take that, and you build on the outside of that. But you've got to stop switching schemes every 18 months, or none of it matters.
Yeah.
Take what you learned from Ajiro Avero, take what you learned from Steve Wilkes before him, and just build the team out.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Ingalls Giving Tree, benefiting Manna Food Bank, will be on display at the Asheville Mall as a reminder of the needs of so many families in western North Carolina. Drop off non-perishable items in the donation barrels at all Ingalls locations, donate online or at the Ingalls Giving Tree at Asheville Mall so Manna Food Bank can reach everyone who needs help. Nothing can hold back the holiday spirit of giving in western North Carolina. Please help Ingalls Markets, iHeartRadio Asheville, WLOS, and the Asheville Citizen-Times ensure Manna Food Bank can fill thousands of empty plates this holiday season.
Whether it's an ugly sweater party, office gift exchange, or holiday dinner at Nana's, Ritz Crackers is always there, bringing friends and family together to celebrate. So grab a box or 2 of Ritz Crackers for your next holiday gathering and make this season one to remember with Ritz, a taste of welcome.
Hear that? That's the sound of new digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Now you can play right from your phone and win real cash prizes. It may all sound new, but winning, oh yeah, Big money is as thrilling as ever. Register to play Digital Instants for a whole new way to win. Must be 18 to play. See prize and odds charts at nclottery.com/digital-instants for details. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
Drinking and driving will change your whole world. Whether you get pulled over or get into a crash, things will never be the same. Getting a sober ride will change your world for the better. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
It's Macy's one-day sale with great deals of the day on gifts we love, like 15 to 60% off the season's hottest toys from Toys R Us, 60% off diamond jewelry from designers like Effie, Le'Veon, and more. Plus, get 60 to 65% off warm and stylish coats for everyone. And now's the time to spend your Macy's money on any gifts you want. No merchandise exclusions. Tomorrow at Macy's. Learn more at Macys.com/Macy's Money. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Drinking and driving will change your whole world. Whether you get pulled over or get into a crash, things will never be the same. Getting a sober ride will change your world for the better. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. And it's Tar Heel time. It's time to check in with a good friend, Jones Angel, the voice of the North Carolina Tar Heels. Jones, we hadn't talked to you a while. We appreciate you taking out the time for us here. I can't believe you didn't tell the bosses that you have a standing appointment at 1 o'clock. You can't make the meeting.
I know, Tank. This new time slot for you guys, this 1 o'clock time slot, makes it tough for some gym. I have to do some gymnastics sometimes with the schedule, so apologize. We had a couple things going on I couldn't get out of, but glad to be back with you. And man, excited to get back out on the court with Carolina coming up on Saturday. Big game down in Atlanta against a really talented Kentucky team. Obviously, it's been a strong start to the year for the Heels. Couple things they would have liked to do better, but I think overall they feel like they've done some good things and still have a couple big challenges before the holidays. So a couple big games coming up in the next week with Kentucky and Oklahoma, and we'll see how the Heels handle it.
Yeah, we talked about this tough stretch before we got into it, that this was going to be kind of gut check time for this for this team as they're still trying to figure out how all the pieces mesh together.
Yeah, and I think, obviously the ultimate answer is incomplete. But if you said, what would Carolina's grade be so far 6 games into this 8-game stretch? And I think if you had to come up with an answer, you'd probably say, probably B+, right? I mean, certainly the Tar Heels have done some good things. And those wins over Arkansas and Tennessee will travel for a long time. Those are good wins that I think are going to be relevant wins as the year continues to move on. And that doesn't discount the comeback against Florida State or the win against Northern Iowa or even the losses against Villanova and UConn. But I think those 2 wins in particular, Arkansas and Tennessee, are really high-quality wins. And yet, I think both games that the Tar Heels lost, Carolina came out of saying, man, if just a couple things could have gone a little better. Villanova, the Tar Heels felt like that was the game they should have had. They were up 9 in the second half and made some mistakes. They fouled some three-point shooters a couple of times that hurt. Just got called for so many fouls in that particular game and just struggled to execute in a couple of key situations that hurt them. And then UConn, I think at this moment, Tank, UConn is better than Carolina right now. UConn is by far one of the top 5 teams, in my opinion, in the country. I think Carolina's probably in that 10 to 20 range right now, with the desire and ability to get up even higher as the year goes on. But at this moment, I think UConn's better than Carolina. But the Tar Heels felt like, particularly in the rebounding side of things and the defensive side of things, that they didn't perform as well as they would have liked in that particular game. And the offense, to me, for Carolina has been, even in days when Carolina hasn't shot well, they found different ways to score. They're doing a good job getting to the free throw line. to me that has been more consistent. Not always perfect, but more consistent. That defensive side of things, and in that particular game against an elite team in UConn, the rebounding side of things was not to the level that the Tar Heels wanted. So plenty of things to work on. Still, I think overall a positive feel. 9 games in, and through six of these 8 games that have been so difficult. But Tank, if Carolina doesn't beat Kentucky and doesn't beat Oklahoma, all of a sudden you probably feel a little differently. If they split them or if they win both, then you probably feel pretty good. If you don't win either, then man, you're frustrated, I think, heading into conference play. So while plenty has happened, I think some very important things will happen over the next week and a half or so. Carolina playing on Saturday and then on Wednesday after that against the Sooners.
It all gets decided on the floor, obviously, by the young men that are out there, doing their work. But a lot of it comes down to coaching as well, and this is going to be a big matchup.
Yeah, it is, and Kentucky is interesting in getting ready for this game. This is an extraordinarily talented team. It's the same story, I think, as you could probably say over the last 12, 13 years or so with Kentucky, is that it is a young team, but a very talented team, and you have seen both sides of that coin show up at different times this year. When they have been interested and engaged, and they've played very, very well. They blew out a good Miami team in Lexington. They were right there toe-and-toe with a very good Kansas team until the final minutes. So they've played some good games against good teams, and then they lost a home game to UNCW, and it was like a 4 or 6 point game with about 6 minutes left against Penn, and they went to overtime against St. Joseph's, and so there have been some times where the youth has shown up, I think, more than the talent. And I know you asked me about coaching, so I'm kind of rounding into this. John Calipari. Say what you will about he certainly has an interesting history within the sport. But he loves college basketball, and he understands college basketball, and he understands the history of college basketball. And to me, Kentucky feels like, and has an argument for, that they feel like they're the best program in the history of college basketball. There's a handful of teams that can say that. Kentucky's certainly one of those teams. I think that Kentucky thinks the one team that can really challenge them in that conversation, or the one that challenges them the most, is Carolina. And John Calipari gets that too. And so he will have, and if you look through the years, Kentucky has played against Carolina at an extraordinarily high level. Now, the Tar Heels have as well, and they've won their fair share of these games. But you rarely, if you're the Tar Heels, you're not going to get a sleepy performance from Kentucky. John Calipari is going to have them ready to go. He understands the value of this game. He understands the history of these two teams. He understands the importance level of this game for his fan base. And you flip that to the other side, I think Hubert Davis does too. This will be the second time that a Coach Davis Carolina team has played Kentucky. Kentucky blew the Tar Heels out 2 years ago, but it was such an odd scenario, Tank. If you remember, Carolina went to Las Vegas thinking it was going to play UCLA, and then when it got there, found out it was playing Kentucky because of COVID, and it was, so certainly some unique circumstances. That isn't to take away the fact that Kentucky played better than Carolina that day. But there were some very odd circumstances surrounding that matchup. I had a chance, of course, Coach Davis's weekly radio show has started, and we do that on Monday nights. And near the end of the show this past Monday, I asked him, how do you avoid just a rusty performance, or because you hadn't played since last Tuesday, and you've had exams, and all this going on, and he was very quick and clear in saying, we will not be rusty. He said, this just because you aren't playing doesn't mean that you can't prepare. We understand who the opponent is. He was very straightforward in his intensity of this game. And so I think both coaches get that, and I would expect both teams to come out and play at a high level starting at 5:30 on Saturday evening.
Well, the pageantry's always there, right? When you have two of the blue bloods locking it up against each other.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, some of the greatest games that I have ever seen. You know,
yeah, unquestioned blue bloods, too.
Right.
I mean, that's the thing. Nobody's going to argue that these two, no matter how you order them, you're going to have both of these two in your top 4 all time in college basketball. And so there's always that aspect of it. And they've played some great games. I mean, just in the 2017 season alone, they played in the regular season, and Kentucky won 103-100 when Malik Monk had 47 points. Justin Jackson had over 30 for the Tar Heels that day. That was a great Kentucky team. I mean, shoot, they had De'Aaron Fox and Bam Adebayo and Malik Monk. I'm not sure how they ever lost, but I know they lost in the round of 8 because that's when Luke May hit that jump shot in Memphis to send Carolina to the Final Four. And that was a great Tar Heel team, obviously, as they won the title with Justin Jackson and Joel Berry and Luke May and Kennedy Meeks and Theo Pinson. I mean, that was a great team, too. So just in the recent history, you can go back. I mean, shoot, Tank, we can just start naming guys and naming years, right? I mean, an all-time Dean Smith victory, in my mind, was the 95 round of 8 game in Birmingham when Kentucky had already booked the hotel ballroom for its post-game celebration of them going to the Final Four, and Rasheed Wallace and Jerry Stackhouse and the Tar Heels had different ideas for that game. The Tar Heels in 1977 on their way to the championship game, which unfortunately they lost to Marquette, still one of the most stinging defeats in Carolina history. But along the way, in a magical run with a bunch of injured players, Carolina was able to beat a really good Kentucky team in Cole Fieldhouse. I'm sure if you ask Kentucky fans and people who follow Kentucky, there's some great wins for them against the Tar Heels. I remember the last game that Woody Durham called as our play-by-play guy here at Carolina was a loss to Kentucky, as far as basketball, was a loss to Kentucky in the round of 8 in 2011 when the Cats just got red hot from three-point range and beat a really good and hot Carolina team in the round of 8. And so I'm sure, I know the Carolina one's better, but there's some Kentucky chapters of this rivalry as well that I'm sure are great for them. And it has it rarely disappoints, at least in the quality of the game. You may be disappointed with the outcome, but most times this is a quality game and an intense game between two of the elite programs.
Well, the game will be heard right here on ESPN Asheville tomorrow. That is a 5:30 start?
Saturday at 5:30. Yeah, I keep thinking today's Friday too, Tank.
I'm on today's Friday because it's my last day on the morning job.
I feel you. I understand. Yeah, so it is Saturday 5. Part of this CBS Sports Classic, which Carolina. This is the 10th year of this event. And Carolina, it's funny. The Tar Heels have the best record of any of these 4 teams in the event itself. Heels are 6-3 in the previous 9 matchups, but they're just 1-3 against Kentucky. They're 5-0 against Ohio State and UCLA, but 1-3 against Kentucky. So they'll try and get that turned around coming up on Saturday afternoon.
Right, and again, you'll hear it here on ESPN Asheville. Big news for the Tar Heels this week was the official announcement that Drake May will be foregoing his eligibility, entering the NFL draft. He will not play in the upcoming Duke's Mayo Bowl. My question is, where does this go now?
Yeah, well, there is a much larger discussion, Tank, that we don't have time for about the way that we're handling postseason bowl games and, the timing of all this and does this still make sense in the modern era, and particularly when you go to a 12-team playoff here coming up next season. So there's a much larger discussion to be had.
No doubt.
But on the micro level here for the Tar Heels, to me, it's not just the fact that Drake May isn't playing in this game. Obviously, that is a huge loss for the Tar Heels. That's a clear statement. But, Corey Gaino, the starting center, is not going to play. Cedric Gray, Carolina's leading tackler for the last 2 years, not going to play. Tez Walker, not going to play. Plus you have 5 guys, 4 of which are major contributors, and John Copenhaver, Will Hardy, Elijah Huzzy, Bryson Nesbitt, who are all injured and not going to play. So you are depleted, to say the least, for Carolina. And so what I think this becomes for the Tar Heels, not to say that Carolina doesn't still have some pieces. I mean, Amarian Hampton and J.J. Jones on the offensive side have had very good years, and Hampton an All-America type of season. The Tar Heels still have most of their defensive front available that will play. So, I mean, there's still plenty of pieces. But what is the ultimate feel of this game for Carolina? I think, number one, of course, you're trying to win. But I think the most important thing that Carolina can take away from this game is Connor Harrell a viable option to be your quarterback next season? He has been a solid backup and, has practiced hard and well and has been ready. And when he's been called upon a couple of times, he's come in and done fine, between fine and really well against an overmatched Campbell team when he played a majority of the second half in that particular game. Well, this isn't Campbell that Carolina's playing in the bowl game. So that, to me, Tank, is the biggest thing in this game. Obviously, you want to win because you're playing. But is Connor Harrell, is he capable of being the guy? And he's not going to answer that definitively in this game, but he's going to give you your best option to start figuring out that answer by his play in this particular contest. And I think it changes how perhaps that competition between he and Max Johnson, the transfer from A&M, and some others, including Tad Hudson, a highly touted freshman who redshirted this year, how that competition is framed, at least in spring ball. So that to me is the most interesting thing for Carolina coming out of this game, is how you feel afterwards about that quarterback spot.
Yeah, it is going to be fun to watch. We'll talk to you next week, maybe next Thursday.
Yeah, hopefully on time this time, Tank. I'll do my best.
Next Thursday will be our last check-in with you until the end of the year. So we will talk to you then. Hopefully we're talking about a Kentucky win on the basketball court, and we'll get more into the bowl preview as well. Thank you, sir, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Tank. Talk to you soon.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, we can't complain about the week we've had, and it's going to continue right on through the beginning of the upcoming weekend. Then we'll watch low pressure developing in the Gulf. Going to start spreading some rain in here by Sunday afternoon. Sunshine today, 52. Tonight in the upper 20s. Friday, sunshine, mid-50s. More the same Saturday, mostly sunny, mid-50s. Good chance we get some rain Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need for the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, it's Mark Starling from First News on 570, and I've been going to Summit Dental in Asheville with Dr. Chad Reinhardt for years. They're fantastic, but you don't have to take my word for it. Check out some of these 5-star reviews from Google. After searching for a dentist for months, I finally found this place. I needed some serious dental work, and they got me in within a week. If you're anxious about going to the dentist, I assure you this is the place that can give you a new outlook on having dental work done. They're upfront, honest, and caring people who only want the best for their patients. You gotta check out Summit Dental in Asheville with Dr. Chad Reinhardt, home of the Comfort Menu.
At Blue Ridge Community College in Henderson and Transylvania counties, we offer more than 200 degrees, diplomas, and certificates in 30 areas of study that can help you reach your career and educational goals. As our year is coming to a close, we at Blue Ridge Community College wish you and your family a wonderful holiday season and a happy new year.
This is Heather Balkin from Balkin Roofing. As we celebrate Christmas, Balkin Roofing extends warm wishes from our family to yours. May the true meaning of this season fill your hearts with faith and hope. His love is the greatest gift ever given. Merry Christmas.
iHeartRadio is your #1 app for the holidays. Just open the app and search iHeart Holiday and start listening now. You'll see your local holiday radio station, plus all kinds of other holiday stations, playlists. Sounded so good.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
The Ingalls Giving Tree, benefiting Manna Food Bank, will be on display at the Asheville Mall as a reminder of the needs of so many families in western North Carolina. Drop off non-perishable items in the donation barrels at all Ingalls locations, donate online or at the Ingalls Giving Tree at Asheville Mall so Manna Food Bank can reach everyone who needs help. Nothing can hold back the holiday spirit of giving in western North Carolina. Please help Ingalls Markets, iHeartRadio Asheville, WLOS, and the Asheville Citizen-Times ensure Manna Food Bank can fill thousands of empty plates this holiday season.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
We are back in the Sportsocracy. It's ESPN Asheville. We're inside the Ingalls studio, and Jeremy, you've been on a cruise before, right?
I have.
Only the one, though, right?
So far, yes.
Okay, so far. Would you do it again?
Great chance that I'll do another one next year.
Okay, all right. So it wasn't a harrowing experience for you. You didn't get sick or anything like that on the boat. It's good. It's all good. Weird things can happen on cruise ships, and this story is an example of weird things that can happen on cruise ships. A couple of passengers have now received a lifetime ban from Carnival Cruise Lines because, well, they were caught on camera doing something on the balcony that you ain't supposed to do.
Were they cavorting?
They were not cavorting. They were fishing.
Oh.
Okay, so now I'm not the, seasoned Carnival cruise guy. I've been on a couple in my life. You got to go really, really high up on the ship to get to the part where you have the balconies, right?
Yeah, it's up there pretty high, yeah.
I'm just trying to wrap around in my head, like, how... I know you weren't going out there with just some regular old fishing line that you picked up at a dollar store on the island or something. There's no way that you're using it. How did you get this onto the cruise ship? Is that allowed?
It was probably a piece by piece.
I guess. I don't know. I'm not a fisherman.
Or maybe you found the Spirit Airlines of cruise ships and they just went, whatever you got on you.
Whatever. We'll let anything pass through the
Let me put it this way.
Checkpoint.
The one ship that I've ever been, or the one cruise I've ever been on, I saw enough recreational crimes that I'm going to say it was not that hard to get things on that boat that you weren't opposed to.
No, I mean, look, that's...
Now,
you can get anything.
I hope you didn't hide your fishing rod where those recreational crimes were probably hidden, or it probably made for a less than fun vacation.
Yes, indeed, it did. Fishing from a cruise ship is absolutely prohibited. Carnival says it's an automatic banning. You cannot come back on our cruise ships again if you get caught fishing from your balcony. I don't think I would ever, that would be ever a rule I would run risk of breaking.
No. I don't like to fish that much.
What are you going to do with it when you caught it? Throw it 5 stories back down to the ocean? Yeah, it's fun times.
It's not going to end well for that fish.
Right, exactly.
That fish will be eaten very quickly.
How did you not know that was going to get you in trouble?
I'm just shocked. I'm with Adam Black. I'm shocked that the penalty is that strict. Oh, you didn't really hurt anybody. I guess the thought is that you could have.
You could, yeah. You definitely could. I mean, you could have smacked somebody in the face with that fish while you were reeling it up.
I was more thinking about the hook.
No doubt, the hook could be a big problem, especially, I mean, I would imagine this isn't just like your regular old run-of-the-mill, bait and, bass tackle or something.
No, I would say you're probably throwing a pretty sizable hook out there.
Right.
Because it's, like you said, it's got to get quite a ways down to the water.
Mm-hmm. And depending on whatever you catch, has got to be on a pretty stiff line.
You would think.
I don't know. Don't do that.
My story is randomly. This is a good story, and it's about our buddy and Asheville native Luke Combs. So apparently there was a woman. Her name is Nicole Harness. She had some medical issues. She's got an Etsy store where she sells things, and one of the things she makes are tumblers. Well, she made a Luke Combs tumbler, which she sold, I believe, 18 of.
Yes.
So I'm going to say she probably didn't make a ton off of these.
$380.
Oh, you already know the number.
Yeah, that's what she made.
So she made $380 off this total. Well, Luke employs a team that looks for people that are making fraudulent merchandise. Usually they're show shirts. So Luke's sound guy is one of my best friends on this planet. I actually talked to him last night. That's what they're doing. That's their job, is to find big corporations that make fraudulent shirts, and they're not real, and people buy them, and they make a lot of money off this.
Yep.
Well, apparently Miss Harness got into the crosshairs of this company that Luke employs to do this. So they sued her. And they sued her to the tune of $250,000, which seems very excessive for the $380 she made, but that's what the corporate world does.
It's all on a spreadsheet, right?
Of course. And Luke, being the Goodman, and I can attest, I've known him for quite some time. He is one of the ultimate Goodman, and he's made more money than you could shake a stick at. And if anything, it's made him more of a Goodman. And that is super rare. He found out about this yesterday. So he, at 5 o'clock in the morning, Tennessee time, starts scurrying around trying to find this woman's phone number. Her manager places a call to a television studio that had done an interview with her. He gets her phone number. He calls her. She informs him, yeah, there's $5,500 in my Amazon account that is now hung up because of this that I cannot access. So Luke, being the ultimate Goodman that he is, he doubled that and sent it to her in a check. Just, hey, if you get that unlocked, great. If you don't, here you go, and we'll continue doing the things to make this work. What he also did was made his own tumbler that was kind of fashioned after hers. He is selling that on his website, and all the proceeds of that go to her. I am obviously biased because I know him, and I'm very, very close with this front of house guy, who's also up for CMA Front House of the Year. No big deal.
No way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Todd is a guy that I've known.
Congratulations, Todd.
I have known Todd basically my whole life. I have done some of the dumbest things I've ever done in my life with Todd, and he is the ultimate Goodman, too. You might remember he was the guy that was pushing people onto Luke's bus during the sniper event at the Jason Aldean concert out in Vegas.
Yeah.
So these are like the ultimate good people on the planet, and I'm so glad that this story got picked up, and it wasn't one of those just, oh, the god-awful corporate entity and how bad Luke is, because that's what people had started to do.
Oh, yeah.
This is how this works.
Because that's how people spin things.
And I told Todd I was going to tell this story, so nobody's going to be upset at me for telling this. Somebody we grew up with sent Todd this story and told him, hey, this story's out there. I don't know what's going on, but you might want to check into it. Todd was the one that told Luke. As soon as Luke found out, he went, I have to unwind this. Like, this is not what this is here for. This is not the intention of this. And especially right here at Christmas, it made Luke ill when he found out about this, and he had to do everything in his power to unwind it.
Because when you hear the story of this woman and she's just trying to make ends meet and pay some medical bills, she missed like all of the warnings that they were trying to say.
She was in the hospital. Yeah. She has congestive heart failure, I think.
Yeah. She was in the hospital for a long time, and she even missed the warnings that she was even being sued. And then found out that the judgment had come down. Now she owes $250,000.
And Luke has no involvement in this. This is a company that is completely off-site. They do not talk to each other. He just and it's not even him. It's the record label employs somebody to make sure people aren't making fraudulent merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
They're not aiming for people like this. This is what happens, like you said, when spreadsheets get involved. Bobby Barnett in our YouTube comment said, Luke seems like a good person. Cool story. Luke is one of the top 5 coolest people I've ever met in my life. I have several stories about him that I, again, cannot tell on this show under any circumstances. But he is the ultimate great person, and we will be putting a link to those Luke tumblers in our merch store if you are interested. I bought 2 of them last night. I think they're going to ship next month sometime. They have to be produced.
I cannot
Luke
wait.
did that Jeremy thing where he said, "This is what I'm going to do," and you figure out how to do it, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We don't just look alike; we act alike sometimes too.
I cannot wait to see the wrap up of this story and just how much goes to this woman from the tumblers, because he's selling them for $20 a piece.
Yes,
which is super affordable.
Oh, no doubt.
Right? Perfect gift for a Luke Combs fan at Christmas time. Go order one.
And now just understand,
and
as I said, it will take more than 11 days for them to be mass produced because that's the way this is going to go. So they will not be here for Christmas.
Right. But
just know that.
But you could, this is one of those things you could fold up the story and give it to somebody in a card and say, "Hey, I bought you a Luke Combs, tumbler to support this woman." It'd be a great gift. Great gift for Christmas.
And
ways to get around.
And hey, Etsy or Amazon or whichever entity she sells these things from, hey, we would put her link out too if you unfreeze her account. It's a button. Trust me, I've seen it.
Well, they can't. It's a legal thing now, because part of the judgment was that all of the proceeds from that store now have to go to the court, and the court can't unwind this thing. Once it's done, and so now what I imagine is going to happen, I don't know this for a fact, but what I imagine is going to happen, that a lot of the proceeds from this are going to go to pay that $250,000, or Luke will just give it to her and she can pay him and mark it off on the ledger and be done with it.
Yeah, let me.
I don't know.
Let me just as a former businessman myself, I'm on a much smaller scale now, but I was a corporate guy. Yeah, trust me, she ain't paying a dime of this.
Oh no. And
she ain't paying a dime of this, and Luke ain't paying a dime of this either.
Luke said that from the jump. Don't worry about her; she'll be taken care of.
Yes.
So he is a great guy, and this is a great story to have here at the holiday season when we're all supposed to treat each other a little bit better.
Trust me, there are a lot of celebrities that you meet over the course of doing this. Cam Newton. Oh, sorry. They're not quite as nice of people as you would want them to be. Luke is not one of those. He's every bit as great a guy as he was when we were kids. He's better now. He's still the same awesome guy, and now he's an awesome guy with a boatload of money.
You just had to throw that shot out there?
Hey, I did.
Why are you picking on him?
Well, Cam Newton, sorry, I coughed it in case you didn't understand
what I said.
what
did he do?
It's the beauty of doing this. You know a lot of people, and trust me, I ain't never heard a good story, not nary a one.
And there you have it. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
I think it's funny that you are surprised that I took that shot.
I just thought it was a random name to throw out there.
Of what, a celebrity that's a jerk in person? Really? That surprises you. As many times as I have told you these stories, it surprises you that I would take that shot.
You just wouldn't be the first one on my mind, I guess. I don't.
Oh, he's number 1, 2, and 4 on mine. Oh, what are you going to do? Sue me?
No.
What, I say something incorrect?
No, I don't think you did. I mean, I don't know. I've never dealt with him. I've never talked to anybody.
You want to chase me for libel or slander? Okay, here's what I said. I said you were a jackass to somebody, and here's the story. If you want to play.
On yesterday's program, I called you a moron. So would you like to tack that onto it, too?
Hey, throw them all out there.
Let's see here. We had some breaking news earlier in the NFL. Darren Waller, he's going to be coming back.
Whoa.
The New York Giants, they're designating him to return from the IR. He was apparently at practice today. So good for him.
Yes, technically the Giants are one game out of the playoffs, but it feels like way more than that.
Yeah. But is he a guy that you just sit? Is he? I mean, don't you want to get something out of him? Because he hasn't got much.
Well,
he played for 5 games, was terrible, and then got hurt.
And I got that. I guess I'm just looking at you play the Saints, the Eagles, the Rams, and the Eagles. You're going to need just a mess more than Darren Waller. Frankly, Mark Bavaro, if you could get some top flight Odell Beckham Jr., to go with old Tommy Cutlets, and you're still probably going to go 1-3 in those 4 games.
Mm-hmm. It's been a fun ride for 3 games.
Speaking of which, Tommy Cutlets shirt now officially in our merch store.
Yes.
And they have the little hand signal on the back.
Love it.
The hand took a lot of work.
Yeah, the twist
really
a lot of different ways
hard to make a hand do that motion.
Oh, you created that graphic?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I actually took it from a handful of different ones and cobbled them together, which was not easy.
Wow. Well, I give you major props for that.
Yeah, there's not really a hand emoji that does exactly what he does, which is, and I had to get that.
Had to create it.
Had to piece a few together.
Good for you.
I mean, I'm not saying I hand drew the thing.
Mm-mm.
I'm a little smarter than that, but pieced some things together. It was a big old jigsaw puzzle, basically.
Yeah, so go check that out, Giants fans in the merch store,
or just fans of Tommy Cutlets.
Mm-hmm.
I'll post a picture of it in the YouTube stream during the next commercial break.
Yep. Speaking of, we'll go ahead and take that break. You're in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400.
'Twas the day before Christmas, and at the North Pole, the elves were all gleeful, mind, body, and soul. From making to baking, content as you please, when off in the distance they heard a loud sneeze.
Hello, I'm in need of normal human cold medicine.
One last stop to top off the tank, and Santa's a go, with Ingalls to thank. Merry Christmas from Ingalls.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Thousands of stores across the country are pulling brand-name cold and allergy products off the shelves. Why? Because an FDA advisory panel recently determined that a drug they contain, oral phenylephrine, is ineffective as a nasal decongestant. Navage offers a drug-free solution that's fast and highly effective at relieving nasal congestion caused by colds and allergies. Navage uses suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril to help suck out allergens, mucus, and germs. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Don't waste your time or money on products that are ineffective. Trust drug-free Navage for fast relief to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. Depression won't show up on an eye chart, and you won't find PTSD by looking at a thermometer. Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment. Anxiety won't just go away under a bandage. If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
This is Carolina basketball.
2-on-1. Baycott finishes the transition hammer. RJ Davis, he's going to try a quick three. Yes, from the right sideline.
On the Tar Heels Sports Network.
Ends up to Baycott, and he gets the run out. Two-handed flush. Carolina, it's Davis. He's fouled, and give him it.
This is your radio home for the Tar Heels.
Asheville's home for the Tar Heels is ESPN Asheville.
Thursday night football. This game is not going to be a lot of fun to watch. It's not going to be very palatable to watch, but maybe, just maybe, I can make you some money. In the first hour, I told you I'm taking the Raiders minus the 3. I am going over 34.5. I'm going to add to that over 193.5 passing yards for Aiden O'Connell. Las Vegas Raiders race to 10 points. That means they're the first one to score 10. Easton Stick, he's a runner, right? What do you think his prop is for rushing yards?
25 yards.
It's 19.5.
Oh.
He might break that in the first quarter because he's going to run a lot. You put all those together into a same-game parlay, it's only plus 1,500, but if you put 5 U.S. doll hairs on it, just like I am, that $5 wager will turn into 80 U.S. doll hairs, which always helps here at Christmas. You can take those wagers to betus.com. Use our promo code Sportsocracy. That'll give you a 125% deposit match and up to 30 risk-free bets so you can wager football with us all season long.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, we can't complain about the week we've had, and it's going to continue right on through the beginning of the upcoming weekend. Then we'll watch low pressure developing in the Gulf. Going to start spreading some rain in here by Sunday afternoon. Sunshine today, 52. Tonight in the upper 20s. Friday, sunshine, mid-50s. More the same Saturday, mostly sunny, mid-50s. Good chance we get some rain Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
UNC Asheville Bulldog basketball is back on the air Monday night. The Bulldogs are back at Kimmel Arena to host South Carolina State. The Ingles Countdown the Tip-Off show starts at 5:30. The tip at 6 on News Radio 570 WWNC, and get your tickets at uncabulldogs.com.
You've been miserable with joint pain for so long. You want and deserve relief, but you keep putting off that call to QC Kinetics. Now's the time because QC Kinetics is rolling out something huge. It's a voucher for $500 off your first joint pain treatment. Whether it's your knees, hips, shoulder, or back, the QC Kinetics voucher applies to any area. This is a limited time offer. QC Kinetics is the largest regenerative clinic in the country with tens of thousands of satisfied patients who are able to get lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Reach out to the team at QC Kinetics today and ask them, how can I get a $500 off voucher? They'll walk you through the steps and get you started on your way to relief. Don't wait. This is a limited time offer. Call for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. With locations in Asheville and in Greenville. Again, 828-333-9517. Limited time only, not valid with any other offer.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand. The best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingles studio.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Sportsocracy's heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We're seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and join us in the chat. It is a Threadbare Thursday. Continue to throw out those topics that you want us to cover before the end of the hour, and we will get into it. It is the holiday season. Of course, everybody's making their plans for working and being off and all that. Hope you get some time to take off for the holiday season. We will be taking some time off after next Thursday. A week from today will be our final show of 2023. We will reconvene here, Tuesday, January the 2nd, probably.
That sounds about right.
That's when everybody else, I think, is coming back to work. You get New Year's Day on that Monday, and then the Tuesday begins the long trudge to the next long holiday that we get.
If the college football playoff wasn't on that Monday, I would very happily take that Tuesday. But it is, so
it is.
We probably won't.
Yes, indeed. So we will be off after next Thursday for the upcoming holiday. Next week is going to be very lonely around the hallways here at Radio Ranch. I think everybody else has taken at least 2 weeks off for this, so we get at least one.
It's okay. We'll only be here for 4 days with nobody here.
It shouldn't be too bad on us. It should not be. Let's get into the daily draft here, top of the third hour of the program, as we generally do. And today it's all about Super Bowl teams. We're going down the stretch here. We got 4 games left in the regular season. 4 weeks left to make your moves, to dare I say, plant your flag. We talked about that a little bit yesterday in the State of the League. Planting your flag for the Super Bowl teams.
I'll let you go first.
You're going to let me go first? Okay. I will take the team that I think is at the top of the league right now. But it's also the team that I have more faith in, and it's the San Francisco 49ers. I wanted to take the Baltimore Ravens there, but I trust in the ability of San Francisco to demolish you when they're healthy. I know they've had bad luck with that, but so have the Baltimore Ravens. And at this point, it's a coin flip between the two of them, which one I can trust to stay healthier longer. So I think head-to-head right now, San Francisco would beat Baltimore on that neutral field in the Super Bowl.
When I said I would give you the number 1 pick, I had a really good indicator that you were going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't taking San Francisco in the top 3.
Really?
Nope. I wasn't.
Okay.
Brock Purdy is a good quarterback. I have absolutely no faith in him in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I've seen this. I think Kyle Shanahan gets way too much credit. It is almost shocking to me how the narrative on San Francisco has changed so vehemently in the last, 2 weeks? And I get it. You beat the smoke off of Philadelphia. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
You do realize that's the only good team you've beaten here, right? You beat the Seahawks twice. Awesome. They're bad. B-A-double-D, bad. You beat the Buccaneers. They're bad. You beat the smoke off the Jaguars, coming off a bye.
Mm-hmm.
They were also coming off a bye. I get it. They're not as good as we want them to be. And I just look up and down with San Francisco, and I do not understand what it is that y'all are seeing. I don't get it. I'm not saying they're bad. They would have been my 4th pick. But you left me the 2 easiest ones I think I've ever made in all the drafts we've ever done. Baltimore is 1, and it ain't even kind of close.
Wow.
I don't believe in any other AFC team. That's why this was so easy to me, is because I've got 3 teams in the NFC, and I knew I was getting one of them regardless of what I did. And I'm on about the same plane with all 3 of them. Philadelphia is who I trust in more. I think Dallas is probably the best team right now. And San Francisco's best is probably the best. I just don't feel like I've seen that as much as the rest of you do.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco to me strikes me as, are we all forgetting that 3-week stretch that we went through?
No.
I mean, and I understand that it takes, I understand that I'm saying Dallas has evolved. I don't think anything has actually changed with San Francisco. I think it's the same team.
Mm-hmm.
You're healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's fine. Where did I have San Francisco fully healthy to start the season? Oh, yeah, behind Dallas and behind Philadelphia. That hasn't changed for me.
Really?
No.
Despite the fact that you've seen them beat their brains out when they're full strength.
Philadelphia, I've seen beat them in the playoffs. San Francisco has officially gotten to the point of the Dallas Cowboys of, hey, you know when I'll believe in you? When I see you do it in playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Get to a Super Bowl. Win a Super Bowl. We'll talk.
Does that not?
Kyle Shanahan has 2 of the most epic failures in playoff history and has probably the worst defeat I've ever seen.
And I don't blame you for that. Because I'm always the guy. I seem to be always the guy that's like, I need to see it to believe it. So I understand where you're coming from. But why do you give Baltimore that benefit of the doubt? Because you didn't
because they're the best team.
Either.
Because they're the best team in their conference. Okay. San Francisco, Dallas, and Philadelphia are real close. I don't care who you are, and I don't care what your personal bias is against any of those teams. Name me 2 in the AFC. I'll wait. It's gotten so clustered in the AFC that there are actually people that think the NFC is better than them.
Mm-hmm.
You people smoke recreational drugs. There are 14 teams in the AFC that would have made the playoffs in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
It's way deeper. The NFC is better at the top. But you gave me the one that was, without a doubt, the easiest to say, well, this is their path. You beat a Buffalo team that I'm not sure is all that great. You beat a Kansas City team that doesn't have any receivers, and Super Bowl. Cincinnati with a backup quarterback, Cleveland with a backup quarterback. I can keep doing this for an extended period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's real easy for me to take Baltimore next.
Okay.
Now, where it gets difficult is which one am I taking of the two NFC East teams next?
Yes.
And I feel like I'm just going to give you Dallas. I'm going to take Philadelphia.
Okay.
And I know that sounds strange.
Yeah, I was not expecting that at all.
Battle tested.
Mm-hmm.
All of you guys were here last year. This playoff moment's not going to be too big for you. Pressure on San Francisco, immense. Especially the more of you get duped into thinking they're the best team in the league.
Yeah.
If I hear one more person, we had somebody, and I would shout your name out here if I remembered what it was. Say, in no world are the Baltimore Ravens better than the San Francisco 49ers. If they played right now, would you bet your house on San Francisco? Because I would mine on Baltimore. And would not think about it for 2 seconds.
Wow.
Because Baltimore finds ways to win games.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore is the one team in the NFL that I haven't seen go through some god-awful stretch where they looked completely incompetent. I don't know that their high side is as good as Philadelphia's. I don't know that, or as good as Dallas's, excuse me. I don't know if their high side is as good as San Francisco. Their baseline is. And I've seen you do it.
Yeah.
And that matters.
Okay. All right. Philadelphia Eagles, second pick for Jeremy, and you left me the Dallas Cowboys, so that's obviously the one I have to take next. There are 4 teams above and beyond all in this, and Dallas is the 4th one. But you also left me Kansas City, so I'm going to take that too. And now I feel pretty good about it, because while I don't, I can't really trust Dallas either, because they obviously haven't done it since I was like 11 years old. So
it was socially acceptable for you to do in your pants the last time that.
No,
I mean,
I'm going to say at 11. That's
every day, but once off.
May have happened, may not have happened.
Happened once in your 30s, at least that I know of. You shouldn't have said that. You should have known what was coming. I am a jerk.
I wasn't even thinking about it, but
yeah, I'm a jerk, and that will be a story that I tell until my dying day.
You are not wrong. I felt absolutely just fine with either way that could have gone. If you'd left me Philadelphia, I'd have felt great about it. Dallas, I feel pretty great about it as well, because that team they're special. I feel like they're special. And you just got to prove it when it comes time. And Dak Prescott's never been playing better. Mike McCarthy's coaching for his job here, and I think he's doing a hell of a job doing it. I don't feel like once we've come out of one of their games and gone, that was Mike McCarthy's loss. And we've done that about 8 times a season, I feel like, with him since he was in Green Bay. Mm-hmm. So that's an improvement as well. Dallas has a lot of special things going for him. So the fact that I got San Francisco and Dallas, I feel pretty good. And then Kansas City, because that's the one team in the AFC that I have seen do it. I've seen you get to the AFC Championship game. I know you've got major roster problems. Major roster problems. Because you don't have a receiver that you can trust. Mm-hmm. You don't have anybody that you can throw out there except for Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce. Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes, but I still trust this team more than anybody else in the AFC.
I think my next 2 picks will make you understand why I didn't take Kansas City.
Okay.
Buffalo Bills, Cincinnati Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
These are 2 teams that may not even make the playoffs.
Yep.
I'm also playing the game here because there's another team that I like that I know you don't. Josh Allen is he is a special player, and I'm seeing more and more of a path that Buffalo's going to have potentially home playoff games. Because all Miami needs to do is take one more grumper and then lose to Buffalo, and ta-da, you win the division.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Damian Woody said it this morning. No team in the AFC is not rooting adamantly for the Dallas Cowboys to beat the Bills. And here's why I say that. When you look around the AFC, just think about the quarterbacks that you're going to see. Tua Tagovailoa, Trevor Lawrence, who I've only seen play 2 playoff games, Joe Flacco, potentially Mitch Trubisky, Gardner Minshew, C.J. Stroud in his first playoff action, Jake Browning, Russell Wilson. I think Josh Allen's different than that. And if they caught the right matchups, look, I'm not telling you I have a great belief in Buffalo. That was the reason we wanted to do this, is to see where each of our brains were. Because I think to both of us, it's the top 4, end of message, repeat the line. But if I had to pick 2 more, I'll take the cast of Cincinnati. I'll take the cast of Buffalo.
Okay.
You're going to need some help, don't get me wrong. And with Cincinnati, you're playing Jake Browning. But based on 2 weeks of Jake Browning, I'm not 100% sure he's not Kurt Warner 2.0. I say that, and he'll throw for 47 yards this week.
Yeah. Okay. Buffalo and Cincinnati.
I must also preface this with there is another team that I like that I do not believe he will take. If I had any belief he would take them, I would have taken them right there.
My next pick is the Cleveland Browns.
Yep, screwed that up. That didn't go my way. I didn't think there was a snowball's chance in Atlanta you were going to take a team quarterback by Joe Flacco.
Well, here's the problem that I have with that. I have the same loose belief. I don't want to say it's on the same field or whatever, but it kind of goes down the path of San Francisco for me. Joe Flacco can run the system. The rest of your team's good enough to win as long as you have the quarterback that's not going to screw it up, right? We said this about your Jets all season long. If you just had a competent quarterback, that could have been a no-doubt playoff team, especially with everybody falling apart like they are. The Jets would be right in the mix of this if they had a Joe Flacco, or at least the Joe Flacco that ended up playing for Cleveland this year, and not the Joe Flacco that played for y'all last year.
I screwed that up.
Yeah.
Was there any path you weren't taking any of the 3 teams I said?
I probably would not have gone to Buffalo. I probably could not have.
That's the one that I thought was a no-doubter. I penciled that one in first.
Yeah, no.
I thought I had to take my pick of the AFC North teams.
Yeah, I just don't have much faith in them. And here's the thing: it's after Cleveland that I really get to. I don't have faith in any of you.
Who's your next pick?
I mean, if I had to, I'm talking like, gun to my head, had to bet my house on a next team to win the Super Bowl.
Well, you don't necessarily have to gun to your head, but you do have to pick 2 more.
Right. Before I throw it back to you here, I guess I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay. Just on the quarterback.
I just have.
It's the same thing I said with the quarterbacks. You're just throwing in Trevor Lawrence instead of.
I just have serious doubts about the other teams that are available here, and I don't know. I mean, I guess I could see them catching fire. It's going to take an absolute miracle for anybody outside of the top 4 to win it anyway. So we're in miracle territory here. Like, Trevor Lawrence has got to get hot and finally play like the superstar that everybody wanted him to be, and it's not going to happen.
Well, my playing of this game has gone not exactly how I wanted it to, because I had already sacrificed one of the 2 I'm getting ready to take.
Right.
You just said get hot. Fact or fiction, that's a real big part of winning a Super Bowl.
Sure.
Awesome. I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins, the Detroit Lions. End of message, repeat the line, and I just eviscerated you in this. Honestly, I thought that was your next 2 picks. That was who I thought I just handed it to you.
Yeah, no. Because I have zero faith in them.
I don't really have any faith in anybody we took beyond 4. But in terms of sheer talent, who could get hot, who could get the right matchups? Miami has 2 receivers that any team they play is going to struggle. Who do they want to avoid? The Cleveland Browns. I don't want to play Cleveland because they have corners that can keep up with my guys. What if I play Jacksonville, who has been destroyed by good passing teams? Okay. So we do that, and then I get lucky, and Kansas City beats Baltimore. Do you think Kansas City with no receivers can keep up with me? I get
Miami?
hot.
No.
Not have a game like Tennessee. Have a high side of what we've seen. We've gotten hot. We catch lightning in a bottle.
I would doubt it highly.
That's the path.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Every team down here has to get lucky with matchups or just, like I said, catch lightning in a bottle. I have a belief that the Dolphins have a 2% chance to do that because you have talent that just nobody else has.
Mm-hmm.
Tua would have to have the 3 best games of his life. It's possible.
Yeah.
Now, Detroit, Jared Goff has to be the Jared Goff that I saw at the beginning of the year, not the guy that I think a lot of teams are figuring out. And now here's the path to that. What has been the big drawback for me on Jared Goff? I don't want when he plays
outside
in the cold.
In the cold, yeah.
Look at the top of the AFC or at the top of the NFC. Tampa Bay, Dallas, San Francisco. All I have to do is either be in my home stadium because I'm going to win this division, and that place will be an absolute circus because they haven't had anything to cheer for in a billion years. Every other team I could play outside of Philadelphia is either warm or in a dome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't have much fear of that. I've already seen you beat the brakes off Tampa Bay. Not that I think they could win a game. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just looking around going, there are paths here. I want to avoid Green Bay, and I want to avoid Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, I don't have that big drawback.
Yep.
Now, you're going to have to get your head right.
That's the problem.
You getting your head – Detroit and Miami, all of their limitations are themselves. Every other team we said has limitations that is the talent, is the I don't have a blank. Both of those teams are good enough talent-wise.
I don't know that that's true. The Lions are talented enough offensively, sure. I'm not sure about defensively. I'm just not sure. If you can get through the playoff, right? You can get through the NFC side of this. Hopefully, you don't catch the Dallas Cowboys, right? Who could possibly put up 40 on you because you're not good.
No,
in the back half of your defense, you get into the AFC champion or into the Super Bowl, and good God forbid you catch a Miami or one of these teams that could score on you. And the last couple of weeks have been that bad.
The Lions secondary is horrible. Andreas Pinckney just said that in YouTube channel.
I have gone from super belief in the Detroit Lions to I don't know to I seriously doubt it. After you lost to Green Bay, after you lost to Chicago, the bad starts that you've had against the Bears the first time against I feel like it's just snowballing here. And so at this moment, I have zero faith in the Detroit Lions to rally here.
The problem is on the outside. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is coming back this week. I think that will help. I think it changes the scheme. You're not good on the outside. Like you said, Miami would be that's a death wish.
Yeah.
Because they have two guys on the outside that'll just eviscerate you.
Boat raced and embarrassed in the Super Bowl.
Where I'm at with Detroit is I think there is a path because they have two really good running backs that you could see this offense start to really change. Where they start to really lean on Jahmyr Gibbs and really start to lean on David Montgomery, and then Jared Goff becomes more of what he was with the Rams. Instead of we're putting it in his lap to win us games, we're just going to grind you out. They have the talent to do that. They have the offensive line to do that. And I mean, I'm grasping at straws, don't get me wrong. But I'm much better with those two than any of the alternatives. And now I wait with bated breath to see who your last selection will be.
Well,
because the explanation on this is going to be fun.
I've been thinking about this the entire time you've been talking, and there's not a good case to be made for anybody.
No, there's only one team you could take here that I won't laugh you out of the room, and I think I'd laugh at myself for saying it.
The Houston Texans? Nope.
Way too young.
You going to Rams?
That's exactly who it was.
With the star veteran guys. Yeah,
Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford. NFC playoffs, you get lucky, you out-scheme Kyle Shanahan. You run through the gauntlet of teams that just poop their pants in the playoffs. And the next thing you know, you go, how in the world did we get here?
The chances of you being able to win that game, though, to win that Super Bowl.
Zero
chances.
The chances of you getting there are 0.01.
Oh, yeah. I will take the longer shot here and just pile everything on Houston. You might be able to. They would be that team that we talk about every year that they're too young to know any different, too young to be scared, whatever it is. They've arrived on the scene. Could be. I mean, you need obviously a healthy C.J. Stroud, and God knows what you're going to do for receivers because Tank Dell ain't coming back.
Nope.
So,
here's where I got lost.
Noah
on the
Brown
Texans.
and Nico Collins.
Yeah, this is where I got lost on the Houston Texans. You just got eviscerated by the New York Jets. Would you like to hear the list of other teams that got eviscerated by the New York Jets this year? Would you like to hear it again? Now, next year, just be prepared for the Houston Texans hype train that is going to make the Detroit Lions this year look like a Tonka toy.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Traffic can slow you down, and so can COVID-19. Don't delay. Prescription oral treatment must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms. If you're at high risk, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com, sponsored by Pfizer.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate Razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
The Ingalls Giving Tree, benefiting Manna Food Bank, will be on display at the Asheville Mall as a reminder of the needs of so many families in western North Carolina. Drop off non-perishable items in the donation barrels at all Ingalls locations, donate online or at the Ingalls Giving Tree at Asheville Mall so Manna Food Bank can reach everyone who needs help. Nothing can hold back the holiday spirit of giving in western North Carolina. Please help Ingalls Markets, iHeartRadio Asheville, WLOS, and the Asheville Citizen-Times ensure Manna Food Bank can fill thousands of empty plates this holiday season.
The free iHeartRadio app is your home for the holidays. Open the app and click on the holiday banner or search iHeart Holiday and start listening to your local holiday station. Plus stations playing all kinds of holiday music, Christmas classics, Christmas jazz, country, R&B, tons of playlists, even podcasts. Yay! Our gift to you, the perfect holiday soundtrack. Join the millions of listeners on the iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Well, Tank said that Joe Flacco had been put on the practice squad by the Cleveland Browns. We don't have to worry about that anymore.
Okay.
He has signed a one-year deal with the Cleveland Browns, but that is not the breaking news part. Okay. What do you think the incentives on this deal are?
Oh, I don't know.
So it's obviously a base pay deal.
Mm-hmm.
He gets $75,000 for each of the remaining 4 regular season games that he wins.
Okay.
Then, should Cleveland advance to the postseason, Flacco would make $250,000 for a wild card win, $500,000 for a divisional playoff win, $1 million for winning the AFC Championship game, and $2 million for winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah. That's taking care of him.
That explains why he said, yeah, I don't really need to worry about.
Yeah, no. It's a great move by Cleveland. I mean, anything you can do to get us there, we'll give you whatever you want. Right?
It really makes you wonder. I mean, look, I'm not sitting here telling you Joe Flacco's been special. The receivers in Cleveland are not great. I mean, you've got a bunch of dudes. I mean, I think Amari Cooper's a legit one. Njoku is a legit one tight end. And then it's a whole mess of threes.
Yes.
But he's done enough. I mean, did enough against Jacksonville. I feel like people are forgetting about that Rams game where, well, whoops. Oopsie boopsie.
Yeah, it didn't go well.
Yeah, he wasn't great. But this week you get the Bears. You still got the Texans, Jets, and Bengals.
You get into the playoffs.
And we see what happens.
Yeah.
He's a vet guy that the moment's not going to be too big for. Definitively.
I mean, right now that Browns team would go on the road to face Miami? Isn't that how that works? No.
As it sits right now?
No, the 4 and the 5. So it's Jacksonville.
Yes.
And Cleveland. That's a game they could win.
I think there are a few games they could win. I mean, that defense travels in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to run into a problem that you can't score with some of these other teams. But, I mean, I feel better about what they're doing than anything that's happening in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Stephen Tao said that's the first time anybody's ever said great move by Cleveland in one sentence.
That's not true.
It's the first time anybody's ever said that about the Browns.
That's not true. They've made a slew of good moves over the course of years to get here, and the first one was telling Baker Mayfield to go bye-bye.
Yes. Although, and this situation really hasn't gone the way they wanted it to, has it?
Which situation?
The change after Baker.
Deshaun Watson at his worst is still better than Baker Mayfield at his best.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I'm not sure I wouldn't rather have Joe Flacco right now than Baker Mayfield. So, yeah, I think that's going just fine.
Okay.
Don't tell me he's played a year with your team and you're turning into a Baker apologist.
No, I'm just... Could be worse. Seen a lot of teams play worse quarterbacks this year.
It's a weird way
I'm
to
not
say
saying
the
he
New
wouldn't
York
have done
Jets.
it. I'm not saying Cleveland should have kept him. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying the backup plan didn't really go how
Ask
they wanted
yourself
it to
this
yet.
question. If Baker Mayfield was still here, would you feel better about their playoff chances than you currently do?
With Joe Falco?
Yes. The answer is unequivocally no. Because one of these quarterbacks can absolutely kill me by throwing 3 horrific interceptions. One of them will not. That should probably tell you everything you need to know.
Well, maybe so. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. When we come back, it'll be time for the most important message of the day.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, we can't complain about the week we've had, and it's going to continue right on through the beginning of the upcoming weekend. Then we'll watch low pressure developing in the Gulf. Going to start spreading some rain in here by Sunday afternoon. Sunshine today, 52. Tonight in the upper 20s. Friday, sunshine, mid-50s. More the same Saturday. Mostly sunny, mid-50s. Good chance we get some rain Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer.
Traffic can slow you down, and so can COVID-19. Don't delay. Prescription oral treatment must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms. If you're at high risk, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com, sponsored by Pfizer.
Have you taken advantage of your dental benefits for 2023? Make your appointment now to get in before December 31st at Summit Dental. Most dental insurance covers 2 cleanings and exams a year. Contact Summit Dental now to take full advantage of your plan. Summit Dental also has a full range of professional services, from crowns and fillings, implants, teeth whitening, and more. Plus, they're accepting new patients. Visit AshevilleSummitDental.com and schedule your appointment now to get in before the end of the year.
The Panthers return home this weekend after 3 straight road games. It's the Battle of I-85, Carolina and Atlanta. This is Anish Shroff. Join me, Jake Delhomme, Luke Kuechly, and Sharon Thorsland Sunday as the Panthers take on the Falcons. Pre-game at noon, kickoff at 1 on the Carolina Panthers radio network.
Panther football live all season long on News Radio 570 WWNC.
Tis the season. When you're in the mood for holiday music, listen live with the iHeartRadio app and on your radio.
97.7 The Brew is Asheville's Christmas station, brought to you by Balkan Roofing and Ingalls Markets.
Anti-Semitism takes many forms, from a passing comment in casual conversation to vandalism and even violence. Shine a Light is a national initiative to spotlight anti-Semitism. A coalition of over 60 Jewish and non-Jewish organizations from across the U.S. and Canada, Shine a Light draws inspiration from Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights, to encourage Jews and allies to speak out against anti-Semitism and send a message that we are stronger together. Join us at shinealighton.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
It is the Sportsocracy, and it's time for our most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes!
Oh, let's go to California. Englewood, California.
Englewood. Always up to no good.
That's right. And one of the, I guess this guy would have been an active banger back in the day. He was sent to prison for 46 years, many years ago, 26 years ago, to be exact, for multiple armed robberies, robbing couriers and banks from 1985 to 1995. So he had a string of things he was responsible for. Well, 60-year-old Markham David Bond, he has apparently been a little sick. And so in January of 2022, he was able to convince the powers that be that he was so sick that he needed to be released from prison. So they did. They released him from prison. They gave him the compassionate release. He argued that I'm no longer a danger to society because of my terminal illness.
I have a funny feeling he's about to prove that incorrect.
Bingo! On Tuesday, that same man, 60-year-old Markham David Bond, was arrested for robbing an armored truck at gunpoint.
Man, he got out and went, hey, y'all, watch this.
Here's the thing, though, as well. Apparently, he still had the same outfit that he used to use in 1985 when he was knocking over armored cars, because the surveillance video from this shows him dressed head to toe in black. He's got the black bandana across his face, wearing a Raiders cap. He's still banging the L.A. Raiders look, the NWA look, for his robberies in 2023 or 2022. This happened several months ago. It took them 3 months to find the guy after he knocked off the armored car. They were able to track down the getaway vehicle. Inside the getaway vehicle, they found the bag that connected him to the Brinks truck robbery. Also, when they finally caught up to the guy, they were able to arrest him at his house. Well, I'm going to say that again. They looked for this guy for 3 months, and they found him at his house. Bang up LAPD work there. And, oh, by the way, they also found all of the clothes that he used for the robbery. They found the gun. They found like $9,000. He stole... They didn't say how much he stole, but they described it as a giant duffel bag full of cash. They found $9,000 rolled or like crumpled up into balls on the floor of his apartment. Just a weird way to keep your cash on hand, I guess. He is now in prison, no bond, of course.
Gambit fan broke out the Michael Caine line. Somebody just want to watch the world burn. Passed away.
Right.
My story I'm not going to lie, this story gives me a little angina because it reminds me a lot of a story I have told on this show. I have told the story many times of the ex-girlfriend of mine that put cigarettes out on my couch. I'm going to give you a couple details about this woman that I've never released before. A, she had 2 different colored eyes. So there's a term for that, and I don't remember what it is. The subject in this story does as well. Girl I'm referring to, her name was Tanya. Girl in this story's name is Tanya. Tanya Nestor, she's 36 years old. She lives in Ohio. I'm going to try my best to tell this story without laughing. She had been seeing a 49-year-old man, and his name is Charlie Glenn. She's 36, he's 49. A, good for you. B, this should not be surprising that this is how this ended. Mr. Glenn he's going to all the news stations, including Fox 19, to tell his story. And it doesn't end quite the way that you think it would. Well, apparently, Miss Nestor had a pellet gun. That's what he says that she told him. Well, he told her they were apparently going out to dinner. They were going somewhere. He said, let me see it because I'm not going anywhere with you if you got a gun. If you have to look at your girlfriend and go, I'm not going somewhere with you because you have a gun, you're probably dating the wrong person. Life advice from a mullet. Anyway, apparently she objected to his stance that that he would not go wherever they were going with her because she had a gun. She said it was a pellet gun. So she did the only logical thing that a person of Tanya's stature would do. She shot him in the she shot him right in the testicle, right in it. Right in it. And he was able to wrestle the gun away from her. Called 911. They showed up. They removed the bullet from him. And now he's on Fox 19. And he said, I still to this day love her. If she ever gets better. Buddy.
If she ever gets better.
I want to know how you're going to rebound from that. All right? I mean, are you seeing a path 5 years from now that you're sitting around the Christmas table, you're looking at the grandkiddies going, hey, Mimo shot me in the testicle one time. That happened, and I forgave her because love conquers all.
Indeed. There's many things that you can forgive.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can forgive. There's one thing you can't forgive. She shot me in the ding-ding, and I'm not going to forgive that. No, sir, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
I need more context here. I need to know like what this was.
I told you the context.
Yeah, but I'm
still
not
going anywhere with you because you have a gun. No. Oh yeah, boom.
No,
right in the ding ding.
No, that's not how this happened. There's nobody that stupid, right? Oh, you won't go anywhere with me while I'm armed? Well, here, let me shoot you, and that'll make sure that you never go anywhere with me again. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Not that criminals usually make sense. I find it hard to believe that
Man of the world.
Oh yeah, you want like were they arguing about what kind of gun it was? Like she had a pellet gun. She said it's just a pellet gun. And he said no, it's a real gun. And she went, oh yeah, want to see? Bang! I guess I can follow down that path.
Well, she was charged with felonious assault. So.
As she should be, and never allowed to date again. Like
Fellas.
That's one of those things you should have a sign around your neck of I once shot a man in the crotch beware.
How'd your last relationship end? Well, I shot him in the ding-ding. That's. I feel like you should have to put that in your Tinder profile.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they should. You know what? This is why we should have a Judge Mullet, because I would force that. Any dating profile you have, you must disclose that you shot old Glenn over here in the nethers. You shot him in the plums.
Right.
No,
you got to go like Scarlet Letter on this one. Like, did you ever read that book? Do you know what I'm talking about? Scarlet Letter. I have to ask.
What do you think?
That
strike you as something I would read?
High school. I know they made you read that in high school.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
A, it was a long time ago. B, I probably didn't read it then. C, I probably still somehow found a way to pass the test.
You know, the gist of it was the woman, the main character, was an adulterer. And so they made her wear the scarlet A on her outfit so everybody would know that she had broken the law. I think that we need to do that in this scenario.
Good God. If we did that now, there'd be people walking around downtown Asheville with the alphabet on their chest. Adulterer, meth addict.
Look at old A to Z over there. They've done it all.
Hey, look at Tanya over there. She's got 17 letters. I don't even know. What's an X? What is X? Ecstasy. Got it. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. I got it.
Yeah. Now this has to. You got like a red P on your chest or something that just says you're violent against.
No good can come from the next thing I'm going to say, so we should probably move on.
Moving right along.
I thought of 4 lines that I could have said right there that would have both been the funniest thing I've ever said on radio and probably the last thing that I ever said on radio.
Indeed. As the boss tells us, just about on a weekly, sometimes daily basis. You can say anything once.
You can say anything once.
Yep. One time, you can say anything. And then,
God, I'd want to be a judge so bad. And yes, I know my aspirations change like once a week because I have the attention span of a tsetse fly.
See, there's a path here. You could be a TV judge. You can do this.
That's all I want to do.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to legislate. I want funny.
Yes.
You bring me funny cases, and I will give you a solution because you contractually agreed to doing whatever I said.
See, Jeremy, I think there is a path here. There used to be a TV show on late at night. It was a judge show, and it starred one of the lawyers from the Charleston area. His name was Akeem Anastapoulos. Have you ever heard that name? He was Judge Akeem. Was a show that was on late at night one time, way back in the early 2000s, I think, maybe mid 2000s, and that was a show that I could see you doing. Because it was like one that sticks out to me. The scenario was this woman hit and run another car. And so the judgment was, after he found that she was guilty, the judgment was that they took her car out back and Hollywood jumped it off of a ramp. And like, it was completely ridiculous, but it was great television.
See, what I want to do is I want to settle like marital fights, like but you sign a contract that you have to do what I say.
Mm-hmm.
I am in, or just very stupid civil things. I don't want to legislate crime, and trust me, you don't want me legislating crime, especially if you have a bad habit of doing it.
Judge Mullet. I can see it now.
Oh, 100%. I just show up in I got a denim cape. Just let's go. With a pair of overalls and no shirt. One little flap down and a little nip. Just that would be the costume of Judge Mullet. And my theme song would be played by banjo. Yeehaw!
Wow. This idea went from highly successful to Jerry Springer show in like 10 seconds.
Anything I do is going to go very Jerry Springer.
This is very true.
Was innovative television.
It's going to be like a mixture between Judge Judy, People's Court,
Jersey
Dukes of
Shore,
Hazzard, and the Howard Stern show, all wrapped into one.
Jersey Shore, the Keeping Up with the Kardashians, anything Paris Hilton ever did. Let's go.
You would be in so much trouble with censors if you had your own television show.
I feel like one of these days a television executive is going to find me and just go, he is a gold mine. He could also completely ruin my career and possibly my life.
Yes.
Oh, my God, I'm the Tanya of television. It'll be real fun until it's not.
Does that make you feel good?
I don't know. It made me feel some kind of way. I'm not gonna lie to you.
We were talking earlier in the show about fixing the bad teams in the NFL, and we did not get to the Washington Commanders. I feel like we should do that because Patrick Holt asked for it.
How many draft picks do you have? How many of those can be used on offensive linemen?
You loading up on the offensive line and not the defensive side of the ball?
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is that you pursue fixes through the draft. There's only so many guys that are an immediate fix. This is one of the things I've always laughed about GMs. And I guess I should have seen this coming with Nick Caserio. If you're trying to turn around right now, you better have multiple first-round picks. Because the chances of you hitting immediate dividends on a lot of guys that you draft in the 4th, 5th, 6th round is not really high. So, I mean, I'm looking at Washington, and I think that team is significantly closer to being competitive maybe than you do.
Mm-hmm.
I also look at them and go, you have a bajillion dollars next year. I'm probably going to work on some veteran fixes to that defense. I'm looking at what Chicago did. Yeah, I have to overpay. Chicago's offense has been so bad at times that it kind of covers up how good the defense has been also at times.
Mm-hmm.
Not totally, but at times.
Mm-hmm.
If I had that Chicago defense in Washington, that's probably good enough. I need a legit number one corner because I feel like I have a slew of threes. I mean, you know I loved Emmanuel Forbes. I don't love that he's been chucked out there as the no doubt one and just been beat like a kettle drum. But if I can go get a back-end one in free agency, even if I have to overpay him, who cares?
No.
Go get a linebacker that you put next to Jamin Davis. You're going to have to find an edge rusher somewhere. This draft is not great at that. There's a slew of them that you can draft in the 2nd, 3rd round.
Mm-hmm.
ZTF.
But that
you're going to hear me say that a whole mess of times.
ZTF?
Google it. He's the other Washington pass rusher. And Jeremy loves him in a way that I have only loved a few other fellers in the history of the NFL draft, and Amon-Ra St. Brown was one of them.
Oh, okay. All right. Planting your flag on that.
He's a little undersized, but I like him a lot.
Very good. Okay. But when you have that number one pick, that's going to be your generational tackle, right?
That's my hope.
Ola Fashanu.
I prefer Joe Alt.
Okay.
If it's up to me and all things are the same, I like Joe Alt.
Because I think currently they're picking, 4th?
Yes, and that's where Joe Alt should go.
Okay.
And that's what I want to do. I want to shore up the left side. I think you have pieces on that line. You just don't have you don't have the stable force. You don't have the Brandon Sheriff who you let walk, and I don't blame you for letting him walk.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to really spend your free agent dollars wisely. And you've got to prop up Sam Howell. What I'm afraid of is that they're going to think the problem is Sam and not that Sam is the solution and everything around him is the problem, which is where I'm at.
Yeah.
I also need a tight end. For the love of God, can I have a tight end that could block, I don't know, a soul? One human. I need somebody that could block one human. I don't think Washington's that far away.
Yeah.
I think that's the most attractive job on the market, and I'm not sure it's all that close. I'd rather have Washington than the Chargers 100 times out of 100.
I think with all things considered, I agree with you.
Because I've still got a cheap
pressure.
quarterback that's really good, and I've got the ability to put pieces around it. I've got a lot of draft capital. I added a 2nd and 3rd with the Chase Young, Montez Sweat moves. The world is my oyster, which is a great time to say, hey, Washington, call me.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
He's a private dancer for money.
We need to take a break on that one because I don't know what you plan on doing for the Washington Commanders, but I guarantee you they do not want those services.
Oh.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan. The Beast Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
The Ingalls Giving Tree, benefiting Manna Food Bank, will be on display at the Asheville Mall as a reminder of the needs of so many families in western North Carolina. Drop off non-perishable items in the donation barrels at all Ingalls locations, donate online or at the Ingalls Giving Tree at Asheville Mall so Manna Food Bank can reach everyone who needs help. Nothing can hold back the holiday spirit of giving in western North Carolina. Please help Ingalls Markets, iHeartRadio Asheville, WLOS, and the Asheville Citizen-Times ensure Manna Food Bank can fill thousands of empty plates this holiday season.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product and don't know what to do next? Inventors, InventHelp can help you get started with your idea. Call 1-800-INVENTION or go to inventhelp.com to get your free inventor's information. They can help you try to patent your idea and submit it to companies. Get started with your idea today at inventhelp.com. InventHelp is the leading invention service company. With offices nationwide, they've been helping inventors since 1984. Inventors received more than 10,000 patents through their patent referral services. Don't wait to get started with your idea. For free information, contact your friends at InventHelp. Go to inventhelp.com or call 1-800-INVENTION. That's inventhelp.com or call 1-800-INVENTION. They help everyday inventors just like you. Additional services include invention websites, prototype models, technical drawings, and more. They keep your idea confidential and explain every step of their invention services. Remember, that's inventhelp.com. inventhelp.com.
On Millionaire's Cove.
Don, I won $1 million playing the $10 million spectacular scratch-off. And there's someone else.
Well, I won the $10 million top prize.
I don't know what I saw in your long-lost brother.
I have a brother?
New $10 million spectacular from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Instant millions change everything. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 3.11. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Thousands of stores across the country are pulling brand-name cold and allergy products off the shelves. Why? Because an FDA advisory panel recently determined that a drug they contain, oral phenylephrine, is ineffective as a nasal decongestant. Navage offers a drug-free solution that's fast and highly effective at relieving nasal congestion caused by colds and allergies. Navage uses suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril to help suck out allergens, mucus, and germs. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Don't waste your time or money on products that are ineffective. Trust drug-free Navage for fast relief to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumping a bag of hammers.
Back on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400.
We are dumber than a bag of hammers.
Yes.
That last segment probably proved that to anybody that was still in doubt.
I feel like we do a great job of proving that each and every day right here in the Sportsocracy. And if you want more of it, you should subscribe to the YouTube channel. Get it on the chat here.
I reaffirm on a daily basis something that was said about me when I was but a child. That boy grows up, he's going to have a job with his name on his shirt.
Jekyll said, now that Alexander Madison is out for Saturday's game for the Minnesota Vikings, would you start Ty Chandler in fantasy football?
It depends on who the alternative is.
Where would you have him, do you think? Would he be like top 20 back this week for you?
I mean, the news just came out, so I have not done. I haven't done rankings that.
Well, no,
down to that point. He's not gonna be that high.
Okay,
he'd be somewhere in the mid to late 20s. I mean, you have there are better options. I don't know that you have one.
Right. I mean, this late in the season, it's hard to have better options than that. Sometimes, I mean, hell, if you're in the quarterback situation, I'm just playing whichever one's healthy and still available on my roster.
Yeah, this week you got the 10 that we're all used to. Tua plays the Jets, which I'm not so sure I would be just itching to trust that, but I'm also not sure that you have a choice. Jordan Love could be a top 10 quarterback this week.
Mm-hmm.
What does that tell you? Football is drunk.
No one, regardless of how everything shakes out this weekend, I don't think anyone is going to win the week better than Tommy Cutlets won the week last week, or has won the week for the last couple of weeks, leading his team to a 3-game winning streak. Get your Tommy Cutlet shirt right now at the merch store.
It's got the little hand signal on the back.
Yeah. Hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Try to enjoy the Chargers and the Raiders tonight on Thursday Night Football. Or you could skip it, watch a good Christmas movie, and we'll recap it all for you here tomorrow at noon on a
Football Friday.
You're in the Sportsocracy. We'll see you then.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, we can't complain about the week we've had, and it's going to continue right on through the beginning of the upcoming weekend. Then we'll watch low pressure developing in the Gulf. Going to start spreading some rain in here by Sunday afternoon. Sunshine today, 52. Tonight in the upper 20s. Friday, sunshine, mid-50s. More of the same Saturday. Mostly sunny, mid-50s. Good chance we get some rain Sunday. From the weather.
Get your home insanely clean with zero-res carpet and air duct cleaning. Call now to get 3 rooms cleaned for only $129 and mention ESPN Asheville to get a free hallway cleaning. Easily schedule online at zeroresasheville.com.
Prepare for an unforgettable holiday experience at Tryon International Equestrian Center's Winterfest, powered by Stoller Power Solutions. Load up your vehicle with family and friends and cruise through the Wonderland Drive-Thru Light Show, where hundreds of thousands of dazzling lights dance to holiday classics on your car radio. Embrace the season with ice skating holiday attractions, a Christmas market, live performances, and more. Don't wait. Head to tryon.com/Winterfest for dates and details.
Pain in your knees, shoulders, hip, or back that won't go away? Check out QC Kinetics for long-lasting relief. No surgery, drugs, or downtime. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. With locations in Asheville and Greenville.
Over 50,000 police officers are assaulted each year. Help police by not escalating. Address any complaints after the encounter. Comply now, complain later. Keep everybody safe. This message brought to you by the National Police Association. Learn more at nationalpolice.org.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.